At the beginning of the drama, we see an elegant-looking school where students are leaving their classrooms during recess. There, we meet three girls reading comics as if they were top-secret documents, even though it's completely forbidden. Among them is our protagonist, Luochi, the #1 brain of the school, the student who always takes first place and whom no one has ever managed to dethrone. Suddenly, commotion breaks out among the students. The girls' jaws drop, and they start whispering as if they had seen a celebrity. The cause of the chaos is a boy who just walked by. Shang, the newly transferred male lead. One of Luochi's friends becomes hypnotized by his face and can't take her eyes off him. When he leaves, the girl asks Luochi, "Why didn't you look at him? Why are you always daydreaming?" Another friend adds, "Luochi never gets distracted." While they're chatting, a teacher spots them reading comics and heads toward them. One of the girls, in full ninja mode, slips the comic into Luochi's hands and runs off, leaving her as bait. Naturally, the teacher thinks Luo is the culprit and approaches her with a "got you" expression. Just then, Shang appears like a movie hero, grabs her by the arm, and hides her away. Both manage to evade the teacher. Frustrated, the teacher gives up and threatens, "Next time I see comics, I'll call your parents." While they're hiding, Luochi can't stop staring at Shang, surprised by his unexpected help. When the teacher leaves, Shang casually says, "He's gone, we can come out now," and walks away calmly. Luo watches him deep in thought. In a voiceover we hear, "When I first met my crush, Shang, I had no idea he was the boy I had been searching for since my childhood." Later, when Luochi returns to her classroom, the teacher stops her. She prepares herself for a scolding, but to her surprise, the teacher congratulates her for once again scoring an extremely high grade, 900 points. Then he asks her for help with a ranking list for the conference. Luo sits down, ready to write her name at the top, but the teacher stops her. He explains, "You used to be #1, but now there's someone else. A student named Shang transferred a few days ago, and he's extraordinary. Even though he hasn't fully adapted yet, he already got the highest score in the school. But don't be discouraged. I'm sure by the end of the semester, you'll reclaim your spot and leave Shang behind," he says. Luochi says nothing. She simply starts writing Shang's full name on the list, while remembering how, as a child, she learned to write that very same name. Shang has the same name as the boy from her childhood, the one who married her while playing outside the church. Luo is left in shock. "He knows my name," she thinks. Shang explains to her, "Of course I know your name. It's always right below mine in the rankings. You always come in second place, and sometimes I get nervous thinking you're going to surpass me. How could I not know who you are?" Luo is in the clouds. "My crush knows my name," she thinks. But no, this is all pure fantasy. This is how she wished the scene had happened. In reality, when Shang stands in front of her, her mind goes blank. She forgets everything she wanted to say. With a nervous stutter, she barely manages to tell him that the teacher asked her to give him the form. Shang grabs the form without saying a word and rushes off because his friends are calling him to keep playing. Luochi stays there, frozen. "He didn't even look at me," she thinks. "He doesn't realize I'm not just any girl. I've been the #1 in this school." Frustrated, she vents by playing ping pong, as if the ball were her enemy. Every time she hits it, she thinks, "Who does Shang think he is? He's never been curious about me. My name is always right below his in the rankings. Before he arrived, I was the queen. And now I'm going to make him remember my name. He's going to notice that I exist." The scene changes, and we see Luochi approaching the teacher with full confidence. "I want to apply for student ambassador." The teacher is shocked, wondering where this sudden interest came from, since Luochi had never cared about that before. Determined to win, she goes straight to the library and starts studying as if she were training for the academic Olympics. In fact, the form she gave Shang was the same one she had secretly filled out to apply. One day, Shang enters the library to study and sees Luo completely focused, reading books that look like they're written in another language. He watches her with curiosity, but then sits in his usual spot and begins to study. Meanwhile, Luoti observes him from the corner of her eye, and her one-sided love grows like a spring plant. But every time he looks at her, she straightens up like a stick and avoids his gaze. That's unrequited love. You dream of your crush noticing you, but when it actually happens, you get nervous and hide. In the next scene, Luoqi is solving a problem on the board when Shang appears outside and calls her by her name. She's shocked. "Are you calling me?" Shang answers, "Yes, come." Luoqi approaches, excited but extremely nervous. And just when she thinks she's about to have her magical moment, Shang tells her he needs her to call another girl. He didn't call her for herself, he just wanted help. With her heart shattered, Luoqi goes to the girl and says, "Shang is calling you." Chanyan happily goes over, and the two start discussing a question like a study couple. Luoqi watches them from the board, feeling like an extra in her own story. She writes angrily on the board, trying to process how she feels. The scene changes to the day of the competition for student ambassador. Luo gets ready carefully and tells herself, "Can I do this? If I win, Shang will finally notice me." She sits down to give her presentation and begins imagining how everything would be. In her fantasy, Shang is sitting next to her and she tells him, "If I win this competition, I'm going to tell you one of my secrets." Shang, curious, asks her what it is, but suddenly he disappears. Luo returns to reality. It was only her imagination. Outside the classroom, we see Shang talking with the teacher. To Luo's surprise, Shang withdraws from the competition, explains his reasons to the teacher, and leaves quietly as if nothing happened. Inside, Luo gives her presentation with all the energy she has accumulated, and after much debate, the teachers unanimously decide to name her the student ambassador. Later, Luo finds out that Shang didn't even show up. She is shocked. Why did he do it? Why did he withdraw? She walks out with her certificate in hand, but instead of feeling victorious, she is full of anger and frustration. No matter how hard I try, Shang never notices me. It's as if I don't exist to him. If this continues, he will never know how I feel. Determined to change things, Luo plans to approach him face to face, but when she arrives at his classroom, she discovers he isn't there. Someone tells her he's outside, so she goes to look for him. Just as she's about to approach, she sees Shang walking with Shanyan again. They are laughing and talking as if they were the leads of an ice cream commercial. Seeing them like that breaks Luoqi's heart for the second time. She stands there silently, feeling invisible once again. Then she decides this is the last time. With that, her school days come to an end. In a voiceover, Luo reflects, "A good narrator knows when and where to end the story." So I ended my one-sided love story here. It was time to move on and start my university life. I didn't want to repeat the mistakes of my teenage years. The scene shifts to Luosi's first day at university. She's excited and determined, ready to start from zero, but she's completely shocked when she sees Shang right in front of her. He is also enrolled in the same university. To make things worse, his girlfriend is with him. She clings to him like a sticker and tells him, "I'm going with you to see your dorm. I'm worried about how you're going to survive alone after leaving home." Shang agrees, and the two walk off together. Luoqi is asked to go check her own dorm, but her mood drops completely after seeing Shang with his girlfriend again. While she hesitates to approach and introduce herself as his former classmate, a piece of fruit falls out of nowhere onto her shoe and ruins it. Luoqi takes it as a divine sign. She hears, "Don't go near him." Discouraged, she runs away. As she leaves, Shang slightly turns his head as if sensing her presence. Another missed opportunity. They don't meet. Shang and his girlfriend leave, and Luoqi is left wondering if she will ever cross paths with him again. The scene changes to Shang's dorm. When he enters, all the boys there are shocked to see a girl inside. Some react with curiosity and excitement, while others whisper as if they're watching a movie scene. Sanyan, Shang's girlfriend, says, "I think I'll go now. This place looks fine." Shang nods with an "it's okay," and she leaves shortly after. As soon as she steps out, Shang runs into a guy yelling at another as if they're in a soap opera. "Did you break my phone?" The furious phone owner says, "Either you fix it and give it back to me, or you buy me a new one." The accused, who turns out to be Shang's new roommate Ming, stands there with a tragic expression. After the angry guy leaves, Shang asks what happened. Ming explains, "I accidentally broke my friend's iPhone and it costs a lot to repair. I don't have that kind of money. Maybe I should just go back to my hometown." Shang, with his calm style, tells him, "Why leave? Getting into this university wasn't easy. Can't you look for another solution?" Ming sighs. "I'm poor. I can't even fix it, let alone buy a new one. Shang thinks for a moment and says, let me try repairing it. Ming looks at him as if he just said he could cure baldness. You know how to fix phones? The scene cuts to Shang in full technician mode, although he breaks the screen once in the process. Oops, he manages to repair it. When he returns it working, Ming shouts, it's alive! While they chat, Ming asks Shang about his entrance exam score. When Shang tells him, Ming is stunned. You're number 1? I can't believe my roommate is the top of the country. With the face of an excited fan, Ming formally introduces himself. From today on, we are best friends. Thanks for saving me with the phone. Shang smiles and accepts the friendship. The next day, Luoi is on her way to class. Ming sees her and is instantly struck. What a beautiful girl. He tries to follow her but trips and bathes himself in noodles. Everyone laughs except Luoqi, who simply walks away without saying a word. Later, Ming, now completely in love, investigates her. When he learns her name, he runs excitedly to Shang. Today I met a beautiful girl from your school. Her name is Luoqi. Shang is surprised. You met Luoqi? Ming nods. Yes, you know her? Is she your friend? Shang replies, no, I just saw her once or twice. Her name was always right below mine in the rankings for 3 years. She's a very good student. That's why I remember her, but I don't know her personally, and I'm sure she only knows my name. Ming smiles like someone who has just found his life's mission. Well, I am going to become friends with Luoqi because I already like her. The scene shifts to Luoqi in a shop choosing a dress for herself. Luoi finds a dress she loves and another girl throws her a huge compliment. That dress looks amazing on you. Your boyfriend won't be able to stop staring at you and even strangers are going to start noticing you. Luo becomes happy as can be. Later at the university, just as class ends, it starts to rain. Shang appears and stands next to Luoqi. When the rain stops, Luoqi gets excited to see him. She begins imagining a conversation, thinking, this is the perfect moment, he's alone. First I'll say hello, then I'll tell him I'm Luoqi from the same school. I'll also tell him I've known him since we were little because once we got married outside a church and he told me, you are only mine. In her imagination, Shang is surprised and says, did I really tell you that you're only mine? This confirms to Luoqi that he is her childhood crush, but her fantasy breaks. Before she can talk to him, Chanyang appears wearing a raincoat. To Luoqi's horror, Chanyang is wearing the same dress. Shang starts complimenting Chanyang, and she gets happy. They leave together, smiling and cheerful. Once again, Shang doesn't notice Luoqi, even though she's wearing the same dress as Chanyang. With her heart in pieces, Luoqi returns to her room and cries her heart out. She writes some lines about how much it hurts what Shang does to her. Frustrated, she throws the matching dress into the trash. One day, Luoqi is on the rooftop, writing her secret feelings. She writes down how much she loves Shang and that she likes him more than anyone, but nobody knows it. When she finishes, she hides what she wrote behind some plants. Later in her room, a new roommate named Bailey arrives with her boyfriend Gebi. Luoqi shows her the room and explains that the other girls aren't there. Bailey suggests adding each other on Wheat, and while Luoqi scans her ID, Gebi also scans Luo's. He says, I'll add you in case I can't contact Bailey. You'll give me updates. Sure, Bailey looks at him with a face that says, what's wrong with you? And sends him off, telling him he's probably already late for class. When GB leaves, Bailey apologizes for her boyfriend. Luoqi says it's no problem. Bailey asks her if she has a boyfriend, and Luoqi replies, no. Bailey insists, asking if she has a crush. Luo stays silent, and Bailey immediately realizes that yes, there is someone. To lighten the mood, Bailey takes out her cards and asks Luoi to pick one. When she chooses, Bailey interprets it jokingly and starts talking about her love life. In a voiceover, Luoi says that this girl became her best friend because she's so cool and has such a big heart. In the next scene, Lu is studying in the library when she hears someone say that Shang just broke up with Shanyan. Shocked, Luoi checks the news and confirms it's true. Meanwhile, we see Shang receiving a voice message from Chanyang saying, we're done, but you still won't have another girlfriend, right? Shang jumps up to leave, but stops when he hears someone singing a sweet song. Before he can see who the girl is, Ming appears yelling his name as if he were in a stadium. Shang asks him to lower his voice, saying the girl singing isn't just some random stranger. It turns out to be Luoqi. But when Shang looks back again, she's already gone. Luoqi notices a question written on the wall, probably written by Shang. though she doesn't know that, and she writes an answer right below it. In the next scene, Luoi is in the library with Bailey. Bailey gives her tips on how to get her crush's attention. She decides to demonstrate and goes to talk to several guys. First she tries with one, but he doesn't even look at her. Then she approaches another, but he ignores her as if she were invisible. Bailey tries with a third guy, but he also rejects her mercilessly. Lucci watches everything and can't help laughing. Finally, Bailey approaches a fourth guy, drops something on purpose, and offers him tissues to get his attention, but the guy grabs her by the clothes and lifts her up like she's a backpack. It's Jevi, her boyfriend. Bailey is in shock. He is upset, and Bailey starts explaining quickly. She was only showing Luoi how to flirt. She wasn't bothering anyone. At first, Jay doesn't believe her, but Luoi confirms that Bailey was only helping her practice. Gevi finally accepts the explanation and says, "You have to give me an apology kiss." Bailey kisses him, and Gevi forgives her. In the next scene, we see Luoi crossing the bicycle parking area when she notices a girl clinging to Shang and refusing to let go. The girl insists, "Make me your girlfriend now that you're single, or I won't let you go today." Shang tries to reason, saying, "But my friend likes you, so I can't have anything with you." The girl doesn't give up and asks why he's rejecting her just because of his friend. At that moment, Luozi wonders, "Does Shang remember my name? Is he talking to me?" Shang tells the girl, "I need to talk alone with my schoolmate." Already angry, the girl pushes Luochi and leaves. Luoi tells Shang, "You should thank me, I helped you." Shang replies, "Come on, I'll treat you to a coffee to thank you." When he starts walking, Luochi freezes and is confused. She thinks, "Is Shang really talking to me today? I must be hallucinating and he's inviting me for coffee." When Shang asks, "What's wrong? Don't you want to come?" she follows him happily. In the cafe, there is a moment of silence between them. Shang starts talking about himself, but Luochi interrupts him saying, "I know you." Shang, who was super popular and brilliant in school, looks at her surprised. Luoi starts telling him several details about him, all taken from her memories. Shuk realizes that Luochi knows him too well and tells her, "It's strange that you know so much about me, but we never talked. We should have done it with any excuse." Luochi stays silent, thinking about all the times she tried to talk to him in the past, but he always ignored her. Noticing that she's talking too much out of excitement, she decides to leave. "I don't want to take more of your time." As she walks away, Shang follows her and stops her. He asks for her WCAT ID, and Luoji is shocked. That means he wants to be her friend. At first she hesitates, but then she looks for her ID in Shang's phone and gives it to him. She says goodbye and leaves. Luoi never introduced herself in class. Her teacher recited a poem that included her name in Shang's. Since then, that poem became her favorite. The scene changes to Bailey, who is crying after fighting with Jev. Luoi tries to comfort her, telling her that everything will be okay. Bailey replies, "You've never dated anyone, so you don't understand my pain." Luoshi answers, "You're right, I've never had a boyfriend, but I've had a crush for 15 years. Bailey is shocked when she hears Luochi's love story. She also gets excited knowing that Luochi finally talked to her lifelong crush, Shang, that same day. Later that night, we see Shen with his friend Ming. Ming says, "It's strange that your schoolmate Luochi, so pretty and smart, wasn't even on your radar in school." Shang replies, "It's not that I didn't notice her, I was probably too focused on studying." Then he adds, "By the way, today I met Luochi and we had coffee together." Ming is surprised and asks, "You two talked?" Shang nods. "Yes, and it was strange. It was the first time we talked, but I felt like I already knew her. She reminded me of my childhood crush. When I was little, I liked a girl. I was very shy and other kids bullied me. That girl always defended me." Ming laughs. "Wow, your first love was when you were a kid." Shang replies, "Not love. I just liked her. She seemed very special to me. I don't know where she is now, what she's doing, or what she's studying at university. There's so much I want to know about her." Shang says he wants to find her, but doesn't know how. He adds that when talking with Luochi, she reminded him of that childhood friend, and that's why he felt more connected to her. Ming teases him. "You look so serious and sweet talking about this. It's clear that girl was very important to you. I hope you find her someday." We see Luochi outside class talking, but when the wind starts blowing, the pages of her diary flip wildly, revealing everything she wrote for Shang. Frightened, Luochi runs and immediately closes the diary. Shang notices Luo and starts looking at her too. She greets him with her eyes, and seeing that, Shang smiles and becomes happy. Luo Qi, all shy, sits in her seat just as the teacher enters. At the end of class, Ming enters the classroom and is surprised to see Luo Qi because he likes her. Excited, he starts talking to Shang about her, but in the process spills coffee on Luo Qi. She is shocked and Shang looks upset. Ming starts apologizing non-stop. Before Shang can offer a tissue, Ming hands one to her and she accepts it. Shang looks worried, but Luo Qi reassures him, "I'm fine." Ming, however, keeps exaggerating with his apologies. Luo Qi jokes, "Hey noodle boy, why do I feel like you spilled coffee on me on purpose just to talk to me, like in dramas?" Ming freezes, realizing she's right. He did it intentionally, and embarrassed, he starts to stutter. Then we see Luo Qi walking happily back home because she's now Shang's classmate. On the way, she runs into Gebi, who asks, "Why are you so happy today?" Luo Qi's smile disappears and Gebi teases her, "I'm not a monster. Why do you always hide your smile?" Luo Qi scolds him and walks away. Meanwhile, we see Ming confronting Shang. "Do you like her, Luo? Because before you said you didn't even know her, and now you keep running into her." Shang acts clueless. "None of that, we just happen to be in the same class. And as for liking me, I have no intention of dating anyone right now. I'm focused on studying." Ming insists, "Sure, because I already told you that I like Luo and I want her to be my girlfriend." Shang responds calmly, "Yes, do whatever you want. I won't say anything." Hearing that, Ming feels relieved and thinks, "Now that Shang isn't interested, I'm sure I can impress Luo Qi." The next day, after class, Ming approaches Luo and says, "Can I treat you to ice cream as an apology for yesterday's coffee?" Before Luo Qi can respond, Shang exits the classroom. She looks at him sadly as he walks away, and Ming notices this. Luo Qi politely declines the invitation. "It's okay, you don't need to invite me." As she turns to leave, Ming feels relieved and thinks, "Wow, that's amazing." Meanwhile, Shang watches them from afar and murmurs, "Ming, what a loser you are." Then, in a voiceover, Luo says, "I'm so happy that Shang is my classmate, but now I'm worried because I don't understand what's happening between us." We see Ming again, having brought ice cream. While he and Luo Qi eat, Ming says, "Yes, you were right. The girl I liked actually liked Shang. She only became friends with me because I was friends with Shang." A flashback appears of the moment when a girl grabs Shang's hand, and he tells her to let go. "My friend likes you, so I can't have anything with you." Ming listens to the conversation from afar, and feels good seeing that Shang rejected her out of loyalty. Back in the present, when Luo Qi hears this, she says to him, "You're a good person. Despite everything, you were wise and didn't ruin your friendship with Shang. That doesn't happen often." Ming replies, "Of course I didn't ruin it. Shang wasn't at fault, so I wasn't going to end my friendship with my good friend just for a girl." Luo Qi starts feeling happy hearing Ming's words. As they keep walking and talking, Ming tells Luo Qi about Shang's ex, Chan Yan, who was his girlfriend since school. He says that Shang confessed to him that Chan Yan didn't truly care about him. She treated him as if he were part of her collection of branded things. She only showed off being with him because he was number one. For example, when Shang brought her a black can, she shouted, "Wow, Shang brought me a can," before even opening it. And when he sent her messages, she showed them to everyone and posted screenshots in her stories saying, "My boyfriend Shang is taking me out to dinner." Ming continues, "She liked to show off, but love is something private, not for flaunting." Luo Qi nods. "Yes, I understand. Every time I saw them together, Chan's voice could be heard from afar because she wanted everyone to know what they were talking about. But well, we shouldn't talk about them anymore. It was their life." Ming agrees. "Yes, you're absolutely right." Then he adds, "I wonder what Luo Qi and Shang talk about when they're together." Just at that moment, Luo thanks Ming for the ice cream. Ming says, "Today I've talked a lot about Shang. I wanted to tell you all this because if you like Shang, I want you to know he's a good guy and you two would look good together." In reality, Ming wanted Luo Qi to either reject him or confess her feelings for Shang, but she avoids the topic, says goodbye, and starts to leave. Ming stops her. "Wait, can I ask you one last question? What is it about Shang that makes everyone become his fan? I'm asking to see if I can be like him." Before Luo Qi can answer, Ming receives a good luck message from Shang that Luo Qi also sees. Nervous, Ming starts to explain, "No, it's not what you think," Luo Qi snaps at him. A moment ago, you were telling me to think about marrying Shang, and now he's wishing you luck. Did you come to me with some hidden intention? You're confusing me. I don't know what's going on between you and Shang regarding me, but I won't let you play with me. She leaves angrily, and Ming thinks, I made a good impression on Luoqi, but Shang ruined everything. The scene cuts to Luoqi in her room. She slams the door angrily, waking her third roommate, Limmy. Since Limmy studies and works part-time, she gets ready in turbo mode to leave. Meanwhile, Bailey is crying over Gebby, but Limmy only notices Luoqi and says, Are you okay? You look kind of down. I'm fine, Luoqi replies with a face that says, I'm not fine, but I don't want to talk. When I get back, I'll bring snacks for everyone, says Limmy, and leaves as if nothing happened. As soon as she leaves, Bailey turns up the volume on her crying. I've been crying for half an hour and Limmy only saw you, and Chow doesn't even look at me. She just studies like a robot. At that moment, Chow comes out, apologizes, and gives both of them lollipops before returning to her notes. Luoy asks Bailey what happened. Bailey wipes her tears and says, He's flirting with the new girls. He even went out with some of them. But I'm his girlfriend. He shouldn't be going out without me. I've decided I'm going to kick him out. If he's in a playboy mood with others, he better leave. I'll definitely break up with him, replies Bailey, determined but with a runny nose. Meanwhile, Shang and Ming are playing baseball. Ming throws the ball aggressively because he's upset. After several intense pitches, Shang asks, What's wrong? Why are you so mad at me? When I liked a girl, she only had eyes for you. And now that I want to be with Luoqi, you're interfering too. You even wanted to come have ice cream with us. If you trust her, why don't you just tell me clearly? Shang sighs. Luoy is my classmate, and I want to get to know her well. I can't say anything until I understand what I feel. I've always had girls talk nicely to me just so I'd be their boyfriend. But this time I want something real. I don't want to be anyone's branded handbag. Ming calms down again. Look, I just want what's best for you, but promise me that if you start liking Luoqi, you'll tell me. I don't want to end up in a love triangle. I promise. If I feel something more than friendship, I'll tell you. And she can decide who she wants to be with. Ming nods. All right, but I'm warning you. When you sent that good luck message, Luoy saw it too, so you should explain to her that it wasn't my fault. Luoqi reads that and asks Shang worriedly, what will she be thinking of me now? Meanwhile, Luoy is in a mess. How is she going to handle her crush wishing someone else luck to win over another girl? She feels hurt and confused. The scene ends with Luoqi completely confused and Shang thinking about how to explain himself. Then we see Luoqi at the convenience store, and someone is following her. It's Gebby. Luoqi turns and says, Why are you following me? Gebby hands her some cookies and replies, Please, give these to Bailey. They're her favorites, and since she's upset with me, I want to convince her. Bailey doesn't even eat these cookies. Luoqi replies and starts to walk away. Gebby stops her. Wait, I need your help. But Luoy ignores him. Gebby, frustrated, runs after her, grabs her hand and pleads, I brought flowers for Bailey. Please give them to her. She's not answering my calls. Luoqi looks at him and says, She doesn't want to talk to you because you always break her heart, and she knows you're flirting with others. That's why she doesn't even want to see you. Gebby gets angry. And who are you to decide if she accepts the flowers or not? Luoy, already fed up, replies, Bailey is allergic to those flowers. You've been her boyfriend for a year, and you don't even know what she likes and doesn't like. Gebby falls silent for a moment, but then starts arguing. Before things get worse, someone throws a ball at Gebby. It's Shang. He approaches and asks, Everything okay here? Gebby quickly responds, She's my girlfriend's roommate. We were just talking for a bit. He takes his flowers and leaves. Shang turns to Luoqi. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine, she replies. Well, this time I saved you, so you should thank me, he says, smiling. Luoqi takes a can from her bag and gives it to him. Shang looks at it fondly, tastes it, and says, It's good, I'm leaving, says Luoqi as she walks away. Later, Luoqi goes to the library and realizes Shang followed her. Are you following me? She asks. No, he replies, grabbing his book. Shang notices Luoy's book and discovers she also likes mystery novels. They start talking and realize they have very similar tastes, even the same favorite author. How strange, says Shang. We've known each other since school, but only now are we friends. And Ming saw you twice, and you're already friends. Yes, we never talked before, Luoqi replies, a little embarrassed. Why do you sound sad? Do you really regret that we weren't friends before? No, it's not that, she says, laughing nervously. Why would I worry about that? Can we be close friends? I want to get to know you better, asks Shang. Loi is shocked. Her heart races, she makes an excuse, and leaves surprised and happy. In the next scene, she returns to her room, where Bailey keeps asking her about Gabby. Although Bailey had told Luoqi not to accept anything from Gabby, now she regrets it. She confesses, I should have accepted the flowers. Even though I was upset, it was the first time he brought me something. Luoqi tries to console her. I don't think Jeb is serious with you, she says. But Bailey, with attitude, responds, That's why I also put on attitude, though she immediately becomes sad and murmurs, I should have accepted the flowers even if they gave me allergies. Later, seeing Bailey down, the scene changes. Chow enters and says, Flowers have arrived for you. Bailey is shocked, thinking they are from Gaby. She decides that this time she will accept them. She goes downstairs with Luoqi, and seeing the flowers, she gets excited to discover that they are her favorites and don't give her allergies. She grabs the bouquet and starts running happily, shouting, These are the first flowers I've ever received in my life. She's so excited that everyone starts applauding. Loi is happy too. A flashback shows Luoqi smiling as she sees Bailey happy. Unknowingly, she herself had bought the flowers. I mean, Gabby didn't give her anything, it was Luoqi who ordered them. The scene changes to the cafeteria, where Gabby calls Bailey to sit with him. Luoqi goes to sit apart, but Bailey stops her. Please, sit with me. After insisting several times, Luoqi agrees, and they sit together. Gabby, happy to see Luoqi, comments, You eat so little, that's why you're so skinny. Bailey offers her plate to Luoqi, but Gabby sends Bailey to get something with an excuse. As soon as she leaves, Gabby approaches Luoqi and starts flirting. You're my girlfriend's best friend, so it's my duty to take care of you. Luoqi, fed up, says, You never change. You keep sinking lower and lower. Stay away from me. She leaves angrily, and Gabby murmurs, What did she just say to me? Bailey, noticing something is wrong, runs after Luoqi to stop her. Luoqi explodes, Your boyfriend is number one at being a bad guy. You should stay away from him, too. Bailey tries to calm her. It must have been a misunderstanding. Don't be mad. You're my best friend, and I can't stand to see you like this. Luoqi begins to calm down. While they talk, they notice a girl nearby. When Bailey comments, She's weird. Everyone calls her crazy. She was at my school and was already different. Luoqi replies. The girl stops them. I want to talk to you, Luoqi. Let's have dinner. I know you haven't eaten. Luoqi, hesitant, agrees. After eating, Wen starts talking about herself while drinking a bit too much. You were always super smart, the favorite of all the teachers. You never fell behind. Luoqi, surprised, asks, How do you know so much about me? Wen replies, I also know what a big crusher you are. I know everything you think, even that you like my crush. Luoqi freezes. Wen continues, It's strange to realize that you're not the only one who likes someone. There are many more who feel the same, and I'm one of them. A flashback shows Wen confessing her love to Shang at school. She told him she liked him and asked him out, but he responded, Thank you, but I can't go out with someone I don't feel anything for. Wen insisted, We're the perfect match. But Shang still left. Back in the present, Luoqi says, We're similar, but you were braver. At least you said what you felt. Good question. Are you still in contact with Sheng's ex? Shan was your classmate. No, I don't talk to her, Luoqi replies. When she gets up to leave, Wen shouts, How dare you leave without my permission? Shang doesn't deserve a girl like you. Luoqi, already annoyed, replies, What's your problem? Do you think Shang belongs to you to tell me all this? Bailey quickly intervenes to calm her. Luoqi, frustrated, says, I shouldn't have come. I should have stayed with Gabby and you in the cafeteria. At least I wouldn't have to listen to this nonsense. Wen keeps talking nonstop. Shang is mine. Stay away from him. When Luoqi and Bailey try to leave, Wen faints from drinking too much. They have no choice but to carry her back to her dorm. On the way, they run into Xiao and Limmy, who offer to help. Wen, half-conscious, murmurs, I like Shang. I like him so much. Even if he doesn't love me, I will always love him because he's mine. She faints again, and the four of them have to carry her to her room. After settling her, A flashback shows Luoqi, heartbroken, throwing her dress and diary into the trash. The diary contained everything she had written about Shang, from A to Z, and how much she liked him. After the scene in the rain, Luoqi decided she didn't want to think about him anymore. That diary became a relic of her hidden emotions. Wen picks it up and sits down to read it. Page after page, she grows furious. She can't believe what she's reading. Meanwhile, Luoqi and Shang continue becoming good friends. One day, while they are chatting in the library, Wen watches them in secret. She has already made a decision. She sees Luoqi as her enemy and is willing to do whatever it takes to separate them. The scene shifts to the present. Luoqi arrives at the home of some relatives. As soon as she gets out of the car, her younger cousin Tiffany greets her with a hug. Shortly after, a lady named Mo comes out to welcome her. In the conversation, Mrs. Mo mentions her 2 children. Tiffany doesn't cause trouble, but Jake is stubborn. You'll have to watch that he doesn't fight with his sister. Luoqi is there to give them lessons, but Mrs. Mo has a special request. Could you take them to the amusement park tomorrow? They've been asking for it for a while. Yes, I'm free tomorrow, Luoqi replies. The scene jumps to the amusement park where Luoqi is with her 2 little cousins. They go on 1,000 rides, scream, laugh like there's no tomorrow, and even pose for the photos she takes, capturing all that childhood happiness that can't fit in a phone memory. What Luoqi doesn't know is that Shang is also at the same park. He's with his friends, who brought their girlfriends to show off. Although they are in the same place, Luoqi and Shang don't cross paths at first. The scene changes and we see Luoqi taking her cousins to eat hamburgers, and boom, there she meets Shang. They both have the "what are you doing here" look, but happy. He greets her with a smile that could melt the cheese on a hamburger, and she responds with one just as bright. The unexpected encounter warms their hearts like freshly fried potatoes. Shang is surprised to see her, and Luoqi explains that she came with her little cousins, that she's like their tutor, their spiritual guide for homework. He nods and says he came with his friends, who are with their respective girlfriends. Luoqi looks at them, and Shang laughs mischievously. Are you looking for Ming? Surely that's who you're looking for. Luoqi hurries to clarify. No, I'm looking for my little cousins who are sitting with your friends. Shang asks her to bring food, and the scene changes to everyone sitting together like one big improvised family. One of Shang's friends asks who Luoqi is. He replies, She's my schoolmate. We met purely by chance. The 2 girls sitting nearby start firing questions at Shang. Where do you go in your free time? Can you help us with our homework? Can you explain a few doubts to us? Shang laughs elegantly and replies, Ask your boyfriends. I explain it to them and they explain it to you. The girls make annoyed emoji faces. In reality, they became the friends' girlfriends just to get close to Shang, but he has already read their minds. Tiffany, one of the girls, says, I feel like having ice cream. Luoqi gets up to go get ice cream, and the 2 girls, as if part of a master plan, tell the friends, You guys go too. Clearly, they want to be alone with Shang, but he, having understood everything, says, No, you wait, I'll get the ice cream, and leaves, giving them a no-way look. In the next scene, Luoqi is buying ice cream when Shang approaches her and asks, Can I join? Like, you, me, and your little cousins. Can we go on the rides together? Honestly, I don't feel like hanging out with my friends. They dragged me here because their girlfriends wanted to meet me. Luoqi says yes, no problem. Shang gets excited like a kid with a new toy and, without thinking twice, pays for the ice cream Luoqi was about to buy. Meanwhile, the friends' girlfriends realize Shang left them to go with Luoqi. They get furious, invent an excuse, and leave defeated by the power of ice cream and Luoqi's charm. In another corner of the world, one of Shang's friends shows a photo of him with Luoqi to another friend and says, Don't you think Shang likes this girl? He never pays this much attention to anyone. The other feels as if a state secret has been revealed. Yes, I think so too. Without wasting time, they send the photo to Ming. Ming, in the middle of failing a magic trick, receives the photo, sees it, and is shocked. Shang just told him he doesn't like Luoqi, and now this. So what's going on? The scene changes to the park, where Shang runs around like a kid at recess with Luoqi's little cousins. Meanwhile, Luoqi is in existential mode. I can't believe I'm at an amusement park with Shang and having fun. The boy I admired from afar is now my friend. My friend, how did this happen? The four are deciding which ride to go on when suddenly Jake and Tiffany start fighting. Tiffany leaves crying and sits apart, shedding a sea of tears. Jake always fights with me. I'm so tired. Luochi goes to her. She comforts her, gives advice, and speaks to Tiffany gently until Tiffany calms down. Meanwhile, Shang talks to Jake. You shouldn't fight with your little sister. Jake murmurs, she's not really my sister. We have different parents. Shang sighs and says, that's exactly why you should take care of her more. You're still family. He speaks patiently, as if Jake were his own brother, until Jake understands. Tiffany returns, Jake apologizes, and she forgives him. Seeing them reconciled, Luochi and Shang look at each other and smile. At that moment, someone takes a photo of them without their knowledge. When they see it, it's perfect. Luochi decides to keep it like a treasure. Shang says, I'm going to buy the tickets for the roller coaster. The line is super long. While he leaves, Luochi gets on another ride with her little cousins but can't stop looking at the photo. She looks at it once, again, and each time her smile grows bigger. Meanwhile, Ming receives a message. A girl came to see you. He goes out excited, thinking it's someone special, but his excitement vanishes when he sees who it is, none other than Shang San. Ming's smile disappears like a failed magic trick. San wastes no time. Where is Shang? I was told the girl you liked was actually after him. Luckily, he didn't accept her. She's not on his level. Only someone like you would go out with him. Ming gets serious. I don't know where Shang is, and please don't say unnecessary things. But Chanyan continues, are you sure he doesn't have a new girlfriend? Because I wouldn't tolerate that. At that moment, Ming receives the latest photo of Shang with Luochi. He looks at it and gets an idea. Look, he went out with that girl. Better forget about him. San freezes. Shang has already passed the just friends level with Luochi. How can he do this to me? She can't believe it. Shang cannot be friends with Luochi, but San quickly regains composure, dries her tears with pride, and says, I broke up with Shang out of anger, but I'm back. No girl can get close to him except me. With that drama villain-worthy declaration, she goes straight to find her best friend, Ding Shui, who coincidentally is also Luochi's classmate. San unloads everything on Ding Shui as if it were express therapy. Luochi is trying to get close to Shang. How can he do this to me when we just broke up? I thought he would fight with his family for me since his mom can't stand me, but it seems like he doesn't even care about our breakup. Then she remembers how it all began. One day when Luochi was talking to Shang, she told him a story. San, who was behind, overheard everything. When Luochi left, San realized the boy she was talking to was Shang. The next day, she went to the same place and waited. When Shang arrived, she asked, You were the one who told me that story yesterday, right? San blinked and lied. Yes, that was me. Then she pretended to be stuck with a problem. I'm trying to solve this, but I can't. Shang, believing her, said, Show me. I'll help you. And that's how their friendship, and later, their romance, began. If Luochi hadn't left that day, maybe she would have been Shang's girlfriend, but fate had other plans. In the present, Ding Shui, who also can't stand Luochi, encourages Chanyan. You have to get Shang back. Take him from Luochi again. Meanwhile, at the amusement park, the group is about to get on the roller coaster. Luochi feels thirsty, and Shang, as if he were her personal assistant, pulls a water bottle from his backpack and offers it to her. She hesitates for a second before taking it. I'm drinking water from my crush's bottle. Her heart does somersaults. Later, they arrive at a restaurant. While putting away their things, Luochi puts Shang's phone in her bag to keep it safe. He approaches her and asks, Are you scared? With a firm voice, she responds, Not at all, this ride is my favorite. But when the cart starts, her courage flies out the window. Shang notices she's nervous and casually places his hand on hers. Luochi freezes. Shang smiles, satisfied. Without saying a word, he's making it clear that it's no longer just friendship. After the ride, Luochi can't stop looking at his hand. Her mind fills with memories. When I was a child, Shang touched my hand and gave me a candy. At school, he rested his head on my hand when he fell asleep. And today he touched my hand again. Then they get on a water ride. Everyone gets soaked, laughs, screams, and has an amazing time. But while the group is having fun, San is still boiling inside. She confesses something else to Ding Shui. Luochi is the sister of my old crush. The boy Chanyan liked was none other than Luochi's older brother. At school, when Chanyan found out that Luoqi liked Shang just like she liked Luoqi's brother, she thought they could help each other, but no. Luoqi never spoke to her, never added her on WeChat, just like her brother, who also ignored her as if she were invisible. So now, Luoqi won't have her love either, no matter what I have to do, Shang declares with a determined, villainous glare. Ding Shui smiles, complicit like in a telenovela. Don't worry, I've got your back on everything. Later, Shang comes back with ice cream for everyone, but instead of keeping his, he gives it to Luoqi. Then, as if he were the prince of a modern fairy tale, he bends down to tie her shoelaces. Luoqi's heart races like a roller coaster. Seeing him do something so sweet for her makes her feel like she's floating. Today is my day, the best day of my life. I never imagined meeting my crush like this out of nowhere and spending the whole day with him. While they sit together, Shang casually asks what subject she teaches the kids. Luoqi answers, English, math, and violin. She also mentions how much she gets paid. Shang nods. That's great. If my family allows it, I'd also like to teach them other subjects. You should talk to their mom for me. And Luoqi feels her happiness skyrocket. He wants to teach her just to be closer to her. But at that moment, Shang's phone rings. Since it's in Luoqi's bag, she instinctively takes it out. On the screen appears a name that freezes her soul, Sanyan. And not only that, there are several messages. The phone is locked. She can't read them, but she already knows that Chanyan has contacted him. Silently, she hands it over. Shang sees the messages and is shocked. San has written all sorts of things against Luoqi. I know you're with her. That girl is terrible. She's trying to get close to you on purpose. I already investigated. Your meeting with her wasn't a coincidence. Everything was planned. Shang is left confused, not knowing what to think. Why is San saying this? Luoqi notices the change in his expression. Something's not right, she asks. Are you coming with us? Shang quickly looks up. Yes. He gets into the car, but during the whole ride, he can't stop looking at the messages. Sanyan has filled his mind with doubts, lies, and poison. Luoqi, on the other hand, feels uncomfortable. Ever since those messages arrived, everything changed. The energy between them becomes tense, strange, as if something has broken. Later, we see Luoqi visiting Shang to thank him for such a beautiful day, but he, with a serious face, apologizes for the misunderstanding with Ming, who secretly is also in love with Luoqi. Shang tells her that it's best if they remain just friends. Luoqi's heart shatters into 1,000 pieces. He doesn't see her as anything more. She leaves sad and angry, wondering if she will ever be special to him. Back in her room, Bailey notices Luoqi staring off as if her heart's Wi-Fi has gone out. Luoqi tells her she's heartbroken because of Shang, while Bailey confesses that she's afraid her boyfriend Gebi might run off with someone else. The two hug in their shared drama and become closer friends than ever. Meanwhile, Shang plays baseball with Ming, but he looks more frustrated than a student during a surprise exam. Ming teases him about Sanyan's reappearance and tells him to make up his mind. Shang admits that he's confused between Luoqi and Shan, as if they were two ice cream flavors, and he doesn't know which to choose. On the other hand, Ding Shui, Chanyan's best friend, suffers from unrequited love. Her crush, Luoyi's brother Luo Yang, met her in a painting class, and while Ding Shui fell in love, Luo Yang only saw her as the student who always got paint on herself. When Ding Shui refused to accept that, Luo Yang began ignoring her. Now he spies on her from afar, and with her heart in pieces, she destroys her painting, but then starts fixing it, determined to confess her feelings. Luoqi goes to look for Shang, but Ming tells her he went out with Shanyan. She leaves silently, dragging her heart along, and Ming notices. Later in class, Ming tries to cheer her up with a sandwich, but Luoqi is so lost in thoughts of Shang that not even the ham comforts her. Meanwhile, Shang spends time with Shanyan and Ding Shui, who dedicate themselves to talking badly about Luoqi as if it were an Olympic sport. They claim she only wants to outperform him academically, and even show a photo of Luo's diary where she wrote that Shang is her inspiration. But they twist everything to make it seem like she's obsessed with defeating him. Shang is confused, but tells them it's a total invasion of privacy, and demands they delete the photo. In her room, Luoqi checks her phone every 5 minutes, hoping Shang will write to her. Bailey, already desperate, tells her to confront him, but Luoqi, clinging to hope, whispers, I've waited 15 years for Shang. I can wait a few more days. Shang, on the other hand, is uneasy, doubting if Luoqi became his friend just to achieve her goals. His roomies confront him for leaving the park, but he responds with a face that says, "I'm not in the mood for jokes." Ming calms things down, although Shang's mind is still full of Chanyun's words. A flashback shows how Shang motivated his classmates, inspiring Luo to write in her diary that he was her role model. In the present, Luoqi and Bailey go to the cafeteria, but Luoqi is disappointed not to find him again. After several days of waiting, Luoqi sends Shang a message offering him work as a tutor for her little cousins. He replies cold as ice, that he's busy with competitions and doesn't need the money. Luoqi's heart shatters into 1,000 pieces and she breaks down in class. Ming, worried, writes to Shang, asking what he said. Luoqi recalls a painful moment when she couldn't buy a book for a competition. She tried to copy the notes, but San bothered her. Then San gave her the book, saying Shang had bought it. For the first time, Luoqi felt grateful to her. With her eyes swollen from crying so much, Luoqi goes to get sweets as if trying to drown her sorrows in sugar. But Ming, who can't keep secrets, he tells her that Shang doesn't even remember her from school, and Luoqi's heart drops like an ice cream cone without a base. Meanwhile, Shang receives a message from Ming letting him know that Luoqi is crying. He sends a brief apology as if it were an automatic message. Confused, Luoqi asks why he is always apologizing. Shang starts to explain but then deletes the message. The doubts that Shan planted in his mind have him more stirred than a bowl of alphabet soup. As he steps outside, Shang sees a wall where he once wrote a question. Now it has been answered by Luoqi. We don't know what it says, but the moment is so poetic that even the wind seems to pause. Lost in her thoughts, Luoqi recalls when they were children, and he helped an elderly man at the bus stop. Sanyan admired him for that, but Luoqi fell in love in silence, convinced he never noticed her. Later, her brother Luoyang calls to say that their aunt is fine after going to the hospital. Luoyang is with Ding Shui, who draws something on his coat without him noticing. When Luoyang finds the drawing, he thinks it's cute, but leaves the coat behind, unknowingly breaking Ding Shui's heart. In the cafeteria, Bailey waits excitedly for Gebi to have lunch together, but he cancels due to work. Bailey overhears Gebi's friends gossiping about how flirtatious he is and confronts them like a lioness defending her cub, but later collapses in front of Luoqi, confessing that she fears Gebi may not be as faithful as she thinks. The next day, in the library, Shang sees Luoqi quietly crying while studying. For the first time, he truly sees her. Vulnerable, beautiful, real. When she leaves, he finds a message she left on the window. We can love someone deeply, but perhaps we may never live with that person, and only we know that truth. Shang is stunned. Now he understands that what Luoqi felt wasn't obsession. It was true love. Later, Luoqi messages Ming to join the class, but before he arrives, Shang appears and sits next to her. Luoqi is shocked. Why does he want to be close now after pulling away for so long? When Ming arrives, he freezes seeing Shang there. And now where do I sit? He asks. Luoqi offers him her seat, but Shang points to an empty one behind. You can sit there. Ming laughs and settles in while Luoqi feels guilty. Shang notices and asks if he wants to switch seats, but Luoqi replies that everyone can sit wherever they want. During class, Luoqi leans over to show Shang where the teacher is pointing, and their fingers nearly touch, like in those swoon-worthy scenes. Later, when the sun distracts her, Shang subtly moves to block it, and Luoqi's heart does somersaults. Ming watches everything from behind and smiles. This reminds Luoqi of a scene from school. Once Shang fell asleep in class, and she held his head so he wouldn't hit it. They stayed like that in silence, enjoying the closeness until the bell rang. Back in the present, Shang writes a note to Luoqi, and they start exchanging messages about movies. When Luoqi mentions her favorite movie is Only Yesterday, Shang freezes. That same movie had been recommended to him by a girl at a window, but at the time Sanyan claimed it was her. Now Shang begins to wonder if it was actually Luoqi all along. Meanwhile, Gebi is busy when a friend asks him to invite Mohan, his childhood crush, to a university event. Gebi agrees because his heart still beats for her. Later, he meets Bailey and brings her a juice she doesn't like, but she accepts it with a smile anyway. That's love, accepting everything from the person who matters to you. When Gebi mentions the event, Bailey gets excited and asks him to get tickets. She even suggests going shopping together, but Gebi says no. Sensing something strange, Bailey asks why he's being so nice. Then Gebi drops the bomb. "I want to break up with you. Mohan is coming back, and I need to face my feelings for her." Bailey is shocked. She begs him not to leave. But Gebi stands firm. He tells her she always knew how important Mohan was to him. Bailey, heartbroken, throws the juice at him but then hugs him tightly, refusing to let go. Gebi hesitates, but says nothing. Meanwhile, Luoqi finishes her class and Ming starts teasing Shang about his feelings for her. He suggests inviting her to lunch. When they do, Luoqi asks if they are trying to fix the friendship or just being polite. Shang apologizes for ignoring her messages. He says he was busy with competitions, but understands if she can't forgive him. Luoqi smiles mischievously and agrees to go with them, lighting up Shang's face as if he'd just received free dessert. While she gathers her things, Shang and Ming exchange a knowing look, happy that Luoqi is joining them. On the way to lunch, they run into Bailey and Gebi. Luoqi immediately notices that Bailey is acting strange and pulls her aside to talk while Gebi takes Shang to discuss the university event. Ming is left alone, wondering if he's become invisible. Luoqi and Bailey sit by the lake, and Bailey finally confesses, "He broke up with me." Luoqi freezes, ready to confront Gebi, but Bailey stops her. Instead, she shows her a photo of Mohan. "Look how beautiful she is." Bailey tells Luoqi that she once idolized Mohan, who came from a prestigious family, played the cello like an angel, and was admired by everyone, including Gebi, who has known her since they were kids. A flashback shows Bailey and Mohan's friendship. After a concert, Bailey asked to keep the cello, but Mohan refused, as if it were her favorite pet. Then Mohan offered her a ride in the car, but Bailey preferred to take her lunchbox and promised to return it with a delicious breakfast. As Mohan left, Gebi watched from afar, already smitten. Bailey accidentally breaks Mohan's lunchbox while bumping into a group of people. She demands they pay for it, but they refuse. Desperate, she runs to find someone to help her. Meanwhile, Gebi faces the group like a movie hero, fighting for Bailey, while she, with her eyes closed, waits for his signal as if in an action scene. When she opens them and sees Gebi defending her, her heart fills with gratitude. After the fight, Gebi casually says, "You're friends with Mohan, right? I want to know a few things about her. Let's meet tomorrow at 7 a.m. at that French restaurant." Bailey, nervous but trying to hide it, agrees. The next day, she arrives at the restaurant, and Gebi is already there, ready to bombard her with questions. Which university does Mohan go to? What kind of guys does she like? And more. Bailey, exasperated, says, "You don't even let me sit properly before asking about Mohan." Gebi laughs, orders food, and impresses her by speaking French, explaining that he learned it because of Mohan. Bailey thinks, "I'm meeting Gebi at a restaurant for the first time, but he only talks about Mohan." Despite everything, she enjoys the food while Gebi helps her with the unusual dish. Days later, Bailey confronts Mohan and asks why she's avoiding Gebi after accepting his public proposal. Mohan, colder than unsweetened ice cream, replies, "I said yes just so he wouldn't feel bad. That was the only reason." Bailey defends Gebi, but Mohan snaps, "If you like him so much, go out with him yourself. I don't care." At that moment, Gebi arrives and hears everything. Furious, he throws the flowers on the ground and storms off. Bailey chases him, but Gebi disappears. She searches everywhere until she finds him outside her house, half dazed and lying down. Although he pushes her and hurts her leg, Bailey doesn't leave him alone and takes him home. In the present, Bailey and Luoqi have dinner together. Bailey jokes, "If I get drunk today, do you think Gebi will come pick me up like I did for him?" Luoqi laughs but notices that Bailey's pain is still there. Bailey shares that after Mohan went to France, Gebi promised to date someone else until she returned. The next day he confessed his feelings to Bailey, and since then, they've been together. But Bailey admits, "I think my love has always been one-sided." Luoqi is moved, understanding everything Bailey has endured. Later, while walking back to the theater club, they run into Gebi. Luoqi confronts him and asks him to tell Bailey the truth. Gebi, in a cold tone, replies, "Forget me, it's better for you." But Bailey explodes, "No, I will never give up on Gebi. He's my life, and no one takes care of him like I do." Then she turns to Luoqi, annoyed. You ask me to stay away from Gebi, but if I asked you to forget Shang, would you do it? Luoqi stays silent. Bailey is right. Unrequited love always hurts. That night, Shang returns to his room and Ming teases him for sitting next to Luoqi. Shang finally admits, maybe I'm starting to like Luoqi. I want to get to know her better. Before I let Shan influence me. But now I want to follow what I feel. Ming smiles, happy for his friend. The next day, Shang and Ming sit next to Luoqi in class, but one enters with a request to join the group, staring at Shang as if he were her academic target. Ming whispers, "Are you sure she got in because of you?" When the teacher praises Luoqi for her intelligence and beauty, Shang mutters, "I've talked to this teacher before." He says the same to everyone. Luoqi laughs, realizing he's teasing her now too. Later, while handing in an assignment, Wen spills water on Shang and starts making a scene as if it were a national emergency. The class laughs, knowing it's all for show. Back at his seat, Shang is embarrassed while Luoqi and Ming tease him with knowing smiles. In the library, Shang brings Luoqi juice and snacks, and Ming jokes, "All courtesy of Shang." Luoqi smiles as if the world were gifted to her, but Wen grabs a snack and says, "If it comes from Shang, I'll take one too." The three laugh together, enjoying the moment like the protagonists of a romantic comedy. Later, Luoqi reflects on Shang's unusual behavior. Why is he acting so differently? Shang, thinking of her messages, "Are you still mad at me?" Luoqi doesn't reply, but murmurs, "Yes, I am. You got so close at the park and then treated me like a stranger." Frustrated, Shang sends another message. "Let's have lunch tomorrow. I'm free." Luoqi's heart fills with happiness and she accepts. The next day, when Luoqi goes to meet Shang, Wen stops her. "I've been watching Shan and she's not keeping an eye on Shang anymore." Good news for us. Luoqi laughs and continues on, thinking, "This is the same boy who didn't even know me at school, and today he invited me to lunch." At the restaurant, Shang is surprised to see Luoqi eating with 3 chopsticks, just like him. Luoqi smiles, remembering, "How do I tell him I started eating like this after seeing him at school?" They talk and laugh. Finally, Shang tells her, "Do you remember a girl I met in my childhood?" "I don't remember everything, but I know she saved me from some bullies and helped me get up. We played together after that, and I said something to her, but I don't remember what." Luoqi is in shock. He still remembers her. When Shang notices her tears, he asks, "Why are you crying?" And she quickly responds, "Because your story is so sweet," hiding that the girl in the story was herself. Meanwhile, Sanyan is being harassed by a persistent boy who wants to take her to the movies. She bumps into another boy who is solving a math problem, and when the first boy grabs her leg, the math genius jumps in like a hero. Annoyed, Sanyan scares off the harasser and starts talking to the intelligent boy, immediately falling for him upon discovering he's a math prodigy. Elsewhere, Gebi struggles to write a message to his crush, Mohan, as if the keyboard is heavier than his feelings. After much hesitation, Gebi finally messages Mohan about a university event. Mohan replies coldly, "I won't go if your girlfriend Bailey attends." Desperate to win her over, Gebi lies. "She's not going. I've already broken up with Bailey." Outside, Bailey arrives with food for Gebi but overhears the entire conversation. Heartbroken, she enters pretending not to have heard anything. Gebi realizes it and apologizes. Bailey ignores him with a fake smile, but as she leaves, Gebi notices she brought his favorite dish. He runs after her, insisting, "It's over. You don't have to do this." Bailey, tears in her eyes, says, "I've always been there for you. How can you leave me like this?" Gebi explodes and admits he used her to get closer to Mohan. Devastated, Bailey whispers, "I'll never leave you, but let me go now. Tomorrow I'll still save you a seat as always," and walks away, holding back tears. Meanwhile, Shang is in his room, smiling as he thinks of Luoqi. He still dreams of finding the childhood friend he told Luoqi about, not knowing it was her. Luoqi, on the other hand, is worried about Bailey, who hasn't returned to the dorm. When she finally comes back, Bailey says she just wants to sleep early to prepare breakfast for Gebi. Luoqi notices something is wrong but doesn't insist. The next day, Ming performs magic tricks for Riching, the girl he likes. But Riching only has eyes for Shang. When Ming offers her a rose, she gets angry and accuses him of lying about Shang's presence just to get close to her. Ming's friends defend him, but Riching shouts, "I like Shang!" She storms off indignantly, and Ming tries to explain. His friends begin wondering if their girlfriends also have a crush on Shang. Ming confesses to Riching that yes, he lied about Shang, hoping she would give him a chance, but Riching insists that Shang likes her and demands to know where he is. Ming, resigned, tells her he's in the library. Riching rushes there and finds Shang with Luoqi. Furious, she confronts him. "I like you. Why are you with another girl?" Shang, confused, clarifies. "I don't like you. My friend Ming does." Riching throws at him. "Then why did you like all my photos and posts?" Shang realizes Ming used his account to interact with her. Ming, nearby, signals him to stay quiet, but Shang reveals the truth. "It was Ming who liked everything, not me." Riching is shocked and yells at Ming for wasting her time. Ming, embarrassed and angry, punches Shang. "You always get all the girls I like," Luoqi intervenes, trying to calm him. Shang says, "If hitting me helps you release that anger, I accept it." But Ming leaves without looking back. Later, Ming catches up with Riching and confesses that he was the one who put jackets over her when she fell asleep in the library. "No, Shang," Riching says, shocked, and walks away silently, leaving Ming in pieces. Meanwhile, Luoqi carefully tends to Shang's wound, applying the medicine like an expert in emotional first aid. "You're fine now, but I feel bad for Ming. He's also my friend, and I hope everything improves soon," says Shang. "Yes, I hope everything gets better too." When Luoqi finishes, they realize how close they are. They look into each other's eyes, the air thick with the tension that only appears when there's something more than friendship. Later, they run into each other on the rooftop. Shang shows her a question he wrote on the wall, admitting he doesn't know who answered it. Luoqi, realizing it was her, stays silent, afraid he might think she's been following him. The moment is quiet, full of unspoken feelings, and Luoqi hides her emotions to avoid revealing too much. Later, Shang remembers hearing a girl sing a sweet song. As he starts humming it, Luoqi laughs, surprised by his attention to small details. Everything changes when Luoqi sees a confession he wrote on the wall about his feelings for her. Panicking, she stands in front of it to cover it and urges him to leave, keeping his secret safe. Back in the dorm, Luoqi finds Bailey more serious than usual. Bailey questions her about her recent behavior, skipping classes, avoiding the cafeteria, and locking herself in her room. Bailey admits that she's focusing on her studies to get over her feelings for Gebi. Luoqi stays thoughtful and silent. Their friendship remains strong, with quiet support between them. Meanwhile, Ming, who distanced himself from Shang after the fight, tries to reconnect. He watches Shang from afar in class and eventually approaches him to suggest playing baseball. During the game, Ming apologizes for losing his patience, and Shang forgives him. Their friendship is restored, showing that misunderstandings can be healed with time. In class, the playful side of Luoqi and Shang comes out. Ming takes a photo of Luoqi looking bored and sends it with a teasing message. Luoqi responds by taking a photo of Shang, joking about his messy hair. Shang, embarrassed, quickly fixes it, making Luoqi laugh. Their small interactions reveal a growing connection through jokes and knowing glances. Later, Luoqi runs into Riching, who confronts her about Shang, insisting that he likes her but won't admit it. Luoqi refuses to be her rival and gently tells her that love doesn't need proof. If Shang wanted to, he would have already shown it. Riching gets emotional and starts questioning Shang's feelings. Luoqi, as a good friend, comforts her and suggests thinking about someone who truly cares for her. Ming, wink wink. Afterwards, Ming thanks Luoqi for helping clear things up with Riching. He confesses that he likes her and admits he's been rejected more times than scholarship applications, but he keeps hoping. Luoqi encourages him and wishes him luck in winning Riching's heart. Their conversation shows that their friendship is one of those that supports each other even on cloudy days. Later, Shang invites Luoqi to his uncle's bar opening, implying it will be just the two of them. Luoqi feels nervous but happy and prepares with Bailey's help, treating the event like their first official date. At the bar, Shang compliments her and jokes about their matching outfits, showing that his interest goes beyond the menu. They spend the night laughing and enjoying each other's company, growing closer with every moment. Everything goes wonderfully until the scene shifts to Chan, who visits her best friend Ding Shui. Chanyan is visibly upset and tells her that her father wants to remarry after her mother passed away under very difficult circumstances. She feels betrayed and abandoned. Ding Shui tries to comfort her, but Chanyan's anger is stronger than any embrace. Meanwhile, Luoqi walks on bricks as if part of a choreography, and explains to Shang that her mom taught her that trick to distract herself from pain during long walks. Touched by the story, Shang whispers, "I want to be the second person to take away your pain." Luoqi is surprised, her heart doing somersaults. At that moment, Shang receives an urgent call from Ding Shui about Chanyan collapsing. He rushes out, but Luoqi insists on accompanying him. In Ding Shui's art classroom, they find total chaos. San has destroyed the place in a fit of rage. When Shang arrives, she, disheveled and holding something sharp, accuses him of forgetting her and demands his love. Shang carefully calms her, but upon seeing Luoqi, Shan explodes and faints from stress. Shang carries her to the hospital, with Luoqi and Ding Shui following as an emergency team. At the hospital, Ding Shui confronts Shang, accusing him of ignoring Chanyan at school. Luoqi intervenes and explains it wasn't out of malice, but because her friends advised him to keep his distance. Shang admits that he did avoid her after their breakup. When they learn from Ding Shui that the loss of her mother deeply affected San, both feel immense empathy. Ding Shui explains that Chanyan began to heal with Shang, but when he distanced himself, her condition worsened. When Chan wakes up, she sends a photo to her father demanding that he pick her up. She recalls how she was mocked at school after her mother's death and even rejected a classmate's support out of grief. The girl left frustrated, and Sanyan began acting impulsively until Ding Shui comforted her as best as she could. In the present, Ding Shui pleads with Shang to return to Chan's life, but he remains silent, glancing at Luoqi as if reading her thoughts. Luoqi, heartbroken, walks away in silence, convinced that she had lost Shang again. Later, he tries to console her, but she walks away without saying a word. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Sanyan clings to Shang as if he were her last ice cream, begging him not to leave her again. He speaks calmly, using words Luoqi once told him. "Everyone has problems, but you have to face them yourself." Sanyan, with a sour expression, tells him that he has changed and blames Luoqi for his distance. Shang admits that with Luoqi he can be himself, but makes it clear that he cannot be Shanyan's boyfriend again. Sanyan becomes nostalgic, and remembers when Shang left her a note of apology attached to a Pepsi bottle. That gesture warmed her heart on her darkest days, and since then, Pepsi became her favorite drink. She also recalls when he accepted a drink from her during a basketball game, which she took as a divine sign of love, but now those memories only hurt her more. Meanwhile, Luoqi struggles with her emotions. Seeing Shang with Sanyan stirs memories from school when she loved him in silence. While Chanyan was his official girlfriend, Ding Shui teases her with unexpected rivalry, but Luoqi is too hurt to play along. Shang tries to talk to her, but Luoqi tells him to go back to Sanyan. He refuses. As they talk, Luoqi's mother sees them together and is shocked, recognizing Shang and his family. A flashback reveals the origin of their tension. Years ago, Luoqi went to Shang's house to ask for help, but his mother coldly rejected her. Young Luoqi witnessed it all, and it stayed etched in her memory like a scene from a drama. After her mother sees her with Shang and shows disapproval, Luoqi still accepts the gloves he offers as a sign of forgiveness. They leave together, their bond seeming stronger than ever. Later at home, Luoqi surprises her mother by cooking her favorite dishes. Her mother smiles warmly, missing her daughter like before. While reminiscing, she mentions that she took Luoqi to a wedding at a church after her father passed away. She doesn't give many details, but Luoqi clearly remembers that day. It was when she met Shang for the first time. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Sani murmurs to herself, determined not to let Shang slip away. Clearly, she hasn't given up. The next day in the library, Shang joins Luoqi to study, but he's more focused on her than on the books. Although Luoqi tries to get him to concentrate, he keeps throwing her glances as if reading poetry on her face. Later, in the cafeteria with Bailey, who is still heartbroken over Gebi, Luoqi notices that her friend is happy to see her with Shang. Bailey had thought that after the last call, Luo and Shang had already broken up. While they eat, Ming joins them, but his phone keeps ringing with calls from Shan, which he ignores as if they were spam. Suddenly, Shan appears in person, surprising everyone. She tells Ming to sit next to Shang with a serious look. "I have something important to say." Bailey tries to take Luoqi away, but Chanyan stops them, saying that what she is going to say affects Shang's future. Luoqi thinks, of course I want to hear it, I'm also part of his future. Sani announces a capital investment competition where the winner can launch a business with support from large companies. She hands Shang the application form, confident that he will win. Luoqi joins the conversation, saying she has also heard about the contest and that it's a great opportunity. Confidently, she adds that Shang has surely already decided, and he confirms that he has, that his teacher mentioned it to him, and he already planned to participate. Luoqi and Shang start discussing the details of the competition, while Shan grows frustrated because she thought only she knew about it. Annoyed, she says they'll talk later and leaves like a storm cloud. After Shan leaves, Shang asks Luoqi if she will support him in the competition, saying he values her advice greatly. Luoqi smiles and assures him she will. Ming teases him a little to lighten the mood. Later, Shang gathers his team for the competition, Luoqi, Ming, and his two roomies. Sani also joins to Luoqi's displeasure. Shang presents his project, an app that uses bracelets with GPS and security cameras. Hearing this, Luoqi remembers that he had already told her about this idea when she felt lost, realizing that he has been working on it for some time. The team loves the idea, and the roomies joke about using it for their future children. Ming teases Shang and Luoqi, and everyone laughs. Luoqi feels truly happy in that moment, but Chanyan is clearly irritated by how close they've become. Then Shang declares, "Let's complete this project and win the competition." Luoqi places her hand over his, followed by the rest of the team. Sani tries to join, but her hand doesn't reach Shang's. The news spreads across the campus. Star student Shang enters the competition. Everyone believes he will win, and students scramble to join his team, hoping to hop on the success train. Meanwhile, a group of senior students who considered themselves the kings of the campus get nervous upon learning that Shang is entering the competition. They confront him during a meeting, accusing him of having an advantage because he comes from a wealthy family. Shang stays silent, not wanting to argue, but Chanyan can't hold back, and delivers a direct response that leaves them speechless. Later, Gebi, who is also on the team, offers access to an office using a card given to him by his dad. Shang hesitates, but Chanyan approves for everyone, as if she were the general manager. Shang's fame grows, and more students want to join his team, but one becomes his personal bodyguard, blocking the excess attention. In class, Shang looks stressed from the pressure. Ming whispers to Luoqi that he's exhausted from rejecting people and that the project is still not ready. When Shang makes a frustrated noise, the teacher scolds him and Luoqi as well. She decides to intervene and help. During recess, Luoqi brings him a refreshing drink and gently advises him not to stress so much and to focus on building the project well. Her words restore Shang's energy. Soon the team gathers to plan their shopping. The next day, they arrive at Gebi's office and are amazed. Spacious, beautiful, and ready to work. They start enthusiastically, and when Luoqi suggests changes to improve the app's design, everyone applauds her. Shang is enchanted by her brilliant mind and unwavering support. The next day, Luo and Shang test the app in the park. Luoqi steps away to simulate a loss, and Shang tracks her, but the app fails, and the signal is lost. Worried, he searches for her until he finally finds her. "Follow me," he says in a soft voice. As they walk back, Luoqi accidentally bumps into him, and he looks at her with deep affection. They decide to rest under the falling leaves, sharing a peaceful moment. Playfully, Shang places a leaf on her face and says, "You look so cute." Luoqi smiles with her heart soaring and gazes at him with love, feeling that her dreams are finally coming true. Meanwhile, Bailey leaves a store lost in memories of Gebi. She recalls how he ignored the gifts she used to bring, except once when he valued a lunchbox she had carefully chosen. Clinging to that moment, Bailey brings more things he likes, hoping to rekindle something between them. But as she approaches her friends, she hears them say, "Gebi is going to see Mohan today." He looked excited. He even got ready to give her the invitation. Bailey's heart drops, but she enters anyway, only to find awkward silence. "Gebi's not here. We don't know where he went," murmurs someone. Heartbroken, Bailey leaves without saying a word. Meanwhile, Luoqi and Shang walk together, talking about the project. Shang smiles and promises, "When the tracking bracelet arrives, you'll be the first to have it." Luoqi, glowing with happiness, teases him. What about that girl you met outside the church when we were kids? Shang laughs. She ends up with the second bracelet. Luoqi imagines confessing, I'm that girl from the church you've been looking for. In her fantasy, Shang gently cups her face and whispers, that's why I always felt I already knew you. But just as she imagines that perfect moment, Luoqi snaps back to reality. She still hasn't said anything. The scene shifts to Bailey, who returns to the dorm and sees Gibby sitting at a well-arranged French restaurant, waiting for Mohan. From outside, she watches as his face lights up when he sees Mohan. Gibby hands him the invitation excitedly, and even tries to take his hand, but Mohan pulls away. Gibby apologizes nervously, and Mohan teases him a little, then gives him a chance to talk. They sit and chat for a long time, as if starting something new. From the window, Bailey feels her heart tighten, but tells herself, it's okay. He's happy, and that's what matters. Later, Luoqi arrives at the office and finds everyone asleep after working late. Shang, still awake, is in another room. Luo silently observes everyone's work and suddenly finds Shang's notebook with the leaf they caught together in the park carefully pressed inside. Moved by the gesture, she holds it delicately. But when Shang enters, she quickly hides it and shifts the conversation to the project, concealing her emotions like a true professional at hiding feelings. Meanwhile, Gibby and Mohan leave the restaurant and walk toward Gibby's car. They stop when they see Bailey asleep next to the vehicle. Gibby's face turns cold as unsweetened ice cream. What are you doing here? We're done. Why do you keep showing up? Bailey, holding back tears, whispers softly, I just wanted to give you these things. I made sure they were exactly how you like them this time. Annoyed, Mohan snaps, why is she still attached to you? Haven't you told her it's over? He scolds Gibby firmly and leaves, saying, clear things up with her first, then call me. After Mohan leaves, Bailey whispers another apology, promising, I won't bother you anymore. Sorry for ruining your date. But Gibby explodes, accusing her of wanting to ruin his happiness. Bailey, hurt but calm, apologizes once more and starts to walk away. Gibby, realizing he went too far, stops her. I'll take you back to the dorm, he murmurs. But remember, this is the last time. During the silent ride, Gibby repeats, I really cared about you, but this is the last time we talk. Bailey doesn't respond, just turns her face as tears fall silently. Upon arriving at the dorm, Gibby notices that Bailey has fallen asleep and has a high fever. Though Bailey weakly protests, Gibby stays with her, leaving medicine and a note that says, goodbye for the last time. Meanwhile, Shang announces he will launch the app for free, and everyone leaves as if their Wi-Fi had been cut off. He remains alone, feeling more isolated than a cactus in the desert. Only Luoqi supports him, but even she steps away when he asks for space, giving him time to think. Elsewhere, Sanyan spends time with her friend Yo, a math genius secretly in love with her. When she teases him about his love for Pepsi, implying he prefers jasmine tea, Sanyan immediately catches the hint. If you manage to beat Shang, maybe I'll consider going out with you, she says. Yo sighs and tells her the truth. She doesn't love Shang, she just wants to control him. Sanyan ignores him and responds, I can't imagine life without Shang. We are destined to be together. Later, Loy and Bailey are chatting when Luoqi suddenly blurts out, what does it feel like to kiss someone? Bailey opens her eyes wide as if the ending of a novel had just been revealed. Wait, you kissed Shang? Luoqi laughs nervously and explains that their lips touched by accident. Bailey covers her face with her hands and teases her. The official kiss is coming. Both of them burst into laughter before heading out. Later, Luoqi arrives at the office and finds it empty. She calls Shang to ask for his location and is shocked. He's completely drunk. Stop drinking, she says, but Shang refuses to move, murmuring that he wants to see the stars. Luoqi sighs and drags him to the rooftop, where he finally opens up. There, Shang confesses that his dad doesn't believe in him and gave him an ultimatum: win the competition or go abroad to work at the family business. I started this app to help people for free, he says, but now I'm confused by what the team said. Luoqi gently encourages him to follow his heart, reminding him that his original dream wasn't wrong. Her words give him clarity. Shang sends a voice message to the group announcing his final decision. He will launch the app for free. Ming tries to get the others' attention, but everyone is busier than an influencer at an event. The next day, on the day of the competition, everyone arrives on time except Shang and Luoqi, who are stuck in traffic. In a panic, they get out of the car and start running. While running, Luoqi collides with a cyclist and injures her leg. Shang carries her on his back, but he starts running out of energy. Luoqi insists he leave her and focus on the competition. After much convincing, Shang reluctantly agrees and runs as if he were in an Olympic final. Luoqi watches him go, her heart beating faster than her injured leg. Despite their efforts, Shang arrives late, and the team loses the competition. The older students mock Shang's team, boasting about their victory as if they had won the world championship. But Shang confronts them calmly, accusing them of recycling ideas from past competitions and dressing up their project with stolen concepts. Although they lost, he stands firm and promises to expose the cheating. San and Gebi support him, while Ming is ready to fight with fists and arguments, but Shang stops him and keeps the peace. After the contest, Ming reveals that Luoqi sent a message to the group asking them to support Shang's vision. Intrigued, Shang runs to find her, reading her affectionate message along the way. Upon finding her, he asks quietly, "Why didn't you call Bailey to help you?" Luoqi smiles gently and replies that she didn't want to bother her, knowing Bailey is emotionally drained. Shang thanks her for always being there and invites her out again, hinting that their last outing ended with unfinished business. The next day, they finally go on a trip wearing matching hoodies like a catalog couple. On the rickshaw, the host assumes they are dating. Luoqi tries to correct him, but Shang confidently responds, "Yes, we're a couple." Luo blushes, her heart doing somersaults. They arrive at a picturesque location for photos, but Luoqi ends up taking more pictures of Shang than the landscape. Looking at him through the lens, she feels her heart fill with joy. She never imagined having such beautiful memories with him, but in that moment, she realizes how much he means to her. The scene ends with Luoqi smiling quietly, treasuring the unexpected happiness Shang has brought into her life. We see Shang and Luoqi sharing tender moments that reveal deep, unspoken feelings. Luoqi recites a poem hinting at her past love, but Shang admits he never read her verses without knowing they were all for him. This hurts Luoqi, even though he promises to value her work from now on. During another outing on the rickshaw, the host improvises a poem with their names, reflecting their connection. Luoqi quietly feels happy. Their bond strengthens when they go skating, and Shang's care makes Luoi's heart race, though she fears that her little lies to impress him might push him away someday. Meanwhile, Wen struggles with feelings of rejection. She disobeys her mother, who wants to send her on blind dates and dreams of catching Shang's attention, but she breaks down seeing that he never notices her. Ming tries to console her, but Wen explodes, revealing her insecurities and loneliness. Even when Riching bluntly calls her weird, Wen gets more frustrated, though Ming's silent support hints at something deeper between them. At the same time, Sanyan remains trapped in her feelings for Shang. She gets angry seeing online comments about her defeat in the competition and creates tension with Ding Shui, who also battles her own artistic insecurities. As Shang and Luoqi's relationship blooms like a well-watered plant, external forces threaten to uproot it. Shan, driven by jealousy and bitterness, turns detective and digs into Luoqi's family history. She discovers that Luoqi's father died in an accident at Shang's father's factory, and like a true secondary villain, tries to use this information to separate them. Shang, fed up with her schemes, puts a stop to it. Meanwhile, Luoqi, unaware of the brewing drama, enjoys her time with Shang, though she gets nervous when her friend Bailey throws a prediction of bad love luck. Amid secrets, entanglements, and confused hearts, the stage is set for an emotional twist that could make even a cat cry. San appears with a "I've got a bomb" expression and tells Shang that the worker who died in the factory fire was none other than Luoqi's father. She warns him that maybe Luoqi got close to him for revenge. Shang freezes like a statue, but decides to ignore the drama, saying that this is a matter between him and Luoqi. Of course, the seed of doubt is already planted. Later at home, Shang questions his mom about the fire and comes across a truth colder than a mother-in-law's hug. His mom blames the worker for the accident and even rejected the family when they asked for help. Filled with guilt, Shang leaves silently. imagining the pain Luoqi has carried while she waits for a reply to her message, unaware of the whirlwind he is experiencing. Shang walks away like a protagonist in a novel, and Luoqi starts worrying about his sudden silence. She seeks comfort from Ming, who tells her that Shang isn't feeling well, though internally he's already tired of the emotional drama. Determined to care for her crush, Luoqi prepares a comforting soup, but twists her ankle on the way. Shang, paralyzed by his mom's words and his own confusion, watches from a distance without lifting a finger. Despite the pain, Luoqi manages to deliver the soup anonymously. Shang's roommate asks why he's avoiding Luoqi, but he stays silent, trapped in his conflicted emotions. Meanwhile, Shanyan devises her master plan: co-organize a university event with Luoqi, hoping to use the occasion to stir more chaos between her and Shang. Luoqi, heart in pieces, doesn't understand why Shang ignores her. She tries to care for him, but he dodges her like a pop quiz. In class, Shang sits far from Luoqi and takes a seat next to Wen, leaving Luoqi more confused than a GPS without signal. Wen, in a telenovela-level moment of honesty, shouts that she's in love with Shang and gets removed from the classroom for the outburst. After class, Luoqi sees Shang leave with Shan and realizes he's deliberately avoiding her. Desperate, she sends messages like an express delivery service, begging for an explanation but doesn't even get a scene. Overwhelmed by the endless cycle of closeness and distance, like an emotional roller coaster, Luoqi collapses. Her heart can no longer endure the silence or rejection. Even though she's shattered by Shang's sudden coldness, when Gebi calls for a meeting, she clings to the hope that he will show up. Upon arriving, she sees him with Sanyan, and the tension is palpable. Shan, as always in antagonist mode, questions why Gebi invited Luoqi. Gebi defends her, saying he needs her input for an event. Luoqi gives such good suggestions that even Shang appreciates them, though he still doesn't speak to her. Sanyan notices this and starts bothering Luoqi with expert-level passive-aggressive comments. Later, Chanyan tries to invite Shang for a coffee, but he politely declines with a diplomatic smile. Sanyan is furious, and Gebi receives a killer glare. Later, during a downpour that feels like a heavenly punishment, Luoqi receives a message from Shang offering to pick her up. Even though she's safe in her dorm, she gets so excited that she lies and runs to a cafe. When he arrives, he hands her a raincoat, but Luoqi recognizes it. It's Chanyan's. Something smells fishy. A flashback reveals that Chanyan convinced Shang to test Luoqi's feelings using the raincoat as an emotional detector. Although Luoqi realizes the trick, she accepts the gift with a fake smile. But when Shang leaves, she throws it away and steps into the rain, her heart soaked. Shang watches from afar and finally realizes the truth. Sanyan was wrong. Both end up crying under the rain like the protagonists of a sad ballad. Meanwhile, Bailey faces her own drama. Mohan manipulates her into seeing him, only to announce that he's now dating Gebi. Hurt and humiliated, Bailey walks in the rain like a heartbroken music video. Later, Luoqi consoles her, and the two share their sorrows, but their friends Limi and Qiao arrive with food and jokes, lifting spirits like true supporting heroines. Shang, on his part, wallows in regret, knowing he hurt Luoqi. Days pass and she avoids him, though memories of him chase her like sticky commercials. When Ming invites her to work with him, she accepts, but freezes upon seeing Shang there too. Unable to face him, she leaves. Consumed by guilt and love, Shang lets her go, believing it's best to stay apart, for now. Meanwhile, Gebi is dating Mohan, his childhood crush, but the relationship tastes bland. The focus shifts to Ding Shui, who plans to surprise Luoqi's brother Luo Yang, but discovers that he is engaged to a girl named Jing, and the wedding is already on the horizon. Jing pressures Luo Yang to get a stable job, while he insists on continuing to teach painting to children. Drama erupts when Ding Shui confronts Jing, questioning whether she truly loves Luo Yang, and warning her not to force him to give up art. Jing ignores her, claiming her commitment is firm, but Ding Shui's words plant seeds of doubt. Luo visits Luo Yang and Jing with the best diplomatic sister-in-law attitude. She tries to support the relationship, convinced that Jing is good for her brother, but when she sees Ding Shui lurking around like a suspicious telenovela character, she confronts her directly and demands that she stay away from Luo Yang. Ding Shui, unfazed, fires back with a villain-level threat. She's going to tell Shang the secrets from Luoqi's diary. Although Luo reassures Jing that he can handle the situation, Ding Shui keeps meddling, leaving Luo Yang more confused than during a surprise exam. His encounters with Ding Shui reveal hidden affection, though he swears nothing is happening. Meanwhile, Luo deals with Ding Shui's threats and Sheng's distance, all while trying to keep peace in his brother's life. At the same time, Shang finds his school photo album and regrets not noticing Luoqi back then. He wonders how things might have been if he had seen her differently. Luoqi, tired of the threats, tells Ding Shui to reveal whatever she wants but leave Luo Yang alone. Ding Shui, furious, replies, "I'll do it right now," and goes straight to find Shang. Later, Ding Shui vents her drama to San Yan, who remains obsessed with separating Luoqi and Shang as if it were her life's mission. Ding Shui tells her that Shang now only trusts Luoqi. Determined to move forward, Luoqi focuses on helping Gebi with a university event, but Chanyan interferes like rush hour traffic and steals a crucial USB. To clear her mind, Luo goes to Ming's basketball game but realizes that her story with Shang still affects her more than she thought. Meanwhile, Ming confesses that his dream relationship with Riching doesn't fulfill him, just like Gebi with Mohan. Both feel like they ordered pizza and were served salad instead. Luoqi and Shang are caught in their emotions, questioning whether what they had was real or just a reflection of past wounds. Luoqi accepts a one-day tour guide job thanks to Ming, and although she guides with confidence, inside she feels shattered. A flashback reveals that Luoqi rejected a necklace her mom gave her because Shang had given the same one to San Yan. The memory leaves her with lingering sadness. Later, Shang sees her with a gloomy expression and approaches with an umbrella just as it threatens to rain. But Luoqi, still hurt, snaps that he only seeks her out when it's convenient. Shang tries to talk about his feelings and mentions the diary photos that San Yan and Ding Shui showed him, and that's when Luoqi explodes. She angrily confesses that she has always been in love with him, that she pretended to like the same things just to get his attention. Exhausted from so much rejection, she tells him she's going to erase him from her life and leaves crying, like the ending of a chapter. Shang is left paralyzed, realizing he never truly understood her. Luoqi, broken, cuts her hair as a symbol of rebirth. She wants to become that girl who loved books and depended on no one. She runs through the rain, her tears mixing with raindrops until she collapses from sheer emotional exhaustion. Meanwhile, Shang sits outside wrestling with guilt and confusion, as if they were final bosses in a video game, until his mom drags him inside like a child left playing in the street. At the same time, Ming and Bailey find Luoqi unconscious in the middle of the street and rush her to the hospital. When Luoqi wakes up, she confesses to Bailey that telling Shang the truth was more torture than relief. She believes he thinks her love was all an act and doubts he will ever feel anything for her. Ming listens from the doorway, and the tension thickens like lentil soup. Later, Mrs. Mo and her children visit Luoqi with words of comfort and hugs. Between tears, Luoqi tells Mrs. Mo that her 15-year crush ended like a tragic telenovela. She feels her lies about shared interests made Shang think everything was fake. Meanwhile, Shang unexpectedly reunites with Mrs. Mo, his long-lost aunt, who reveals that Luoqi has been teaching her children. Shang is shocked to learn that Mrs. Mo is his father's sister and that the family estrangement stems from his father's hatred toward her husband. During the conversation, Mrs. Mo asks him directly, "Did Luoqi ever hurt you?" Shang admits that she has always supported him, and Mrs. Mo advises him to trust his feelings, not other people's gossip. Returning home, Shang enters deep reflection, but his mom intercepts him to talk about his relationship with Luoqi. Before he can respond, Gevi calls urgently, and Shang leaves, saying that his love life is no one else's business. His mom stays furious, stewing over the idea that the daughter of a family she despises could be part of her son's future. Shang rushes to meet Gevi, who explains the chaos. The USB with the script has disappeared. A girl claimed that Luoqi gave it to her, but someone took it, and now Luoqi isn't answering calls. Desperate, Gebi contacts Bailey, who reveals that Luoqi is in the hospital. Shang bolts off as if in a movie scene. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Ming is taking care of Luoqi. When he steps away for a moment, Luoqi talks with her mom, who, unaware that she is hospitalized, asks her to come home for her father's death anniversary. The conversation leaves her emotionally shaken, torn between concern for her mom and her own troubles. Ming returns, manages to make her smile, and soon they're laughing as if nothing happened. When Luochi is discharged, she, Ming, and Bailey head home, but a car stops with Gebi and Shang inside. Luochi suspects that Ming told Shang about her hospitalization, but he immediately denies it. Although Shang shows soul-level concern, Luochi doesn't even look at him. When she refuses to get in the car, Shang carries her and seats her inside without asking, leaving her in shock and speechless. The car ride is tenser than a family meeting about forbidden topics. Shang tries to play music to ease the tension, but Luochi throws a sharp remark that kills any attempt at peace. Gebi, acting as mediator, mentions the lost script and begs Luochi to help. Despite everything, Luochi agrees, leaving everyone amazed by her ninja-level focus. Bailey clings to Gebi like a sticker, unwilling to let go, showing that her feelings are still there, though hidden. As they leave, Shang takes the moment to ask Luochi why she cut her hair. She elegantly tells him to buzz off. His attempts to reconnect crash like Wi-Fi in a storm, and Luochi makes it clear she wants nothing to do with him. Later, while walking back, Bailey praises Luochi for ignoring Shang and admits she wishes she could do the same with Gebi. They run into Ming, who gives Luochi some healthy food and reminds her to take care of herself. Bailey jokingly comments that Ming is being too obvious, but Luochi insists they are just friends. The next day, while setting up tents for a university event, Gebi loses an important accounting file, turning everything into chaos. Bailey rushes to help, and Luochi, suspecting Gebi is in trouble, joins the rescue, ignoring Shang's protests. They work late into the night with tension hanging in the air while Luochi keeps her distance. When they finish, Shang tries to talk to her alone and says he wants to be friends again, but Luochi, hardened by heartbreak, replies that he can think whatever he wants of her. The following day, after successfully submitting the files, the professor praises the work, but Senior Zhang shamelessly takes credit. Despite the blow, Shang gives Luochi Bape tickets for a university ceremony, determined to win her back. Later, Luochi sees Chan's raincoat, the same one Shang used to test her, and decides to return it. In the library, she hands it over without emotion, saying it's clean and ready to go back. Shang realizes she never wore it, and when he thanks her for that day, Luochi responds that she's not one to forgive easily. As she walks away, Shang stands there, watching how everything has changed. Before, Luochi always looked at him when he ignored her. Now, it's he who watches her walk away. Determined, he promises to fix his mistakes and win her back at cost. The big day of the event arrives, and while a long line forms outside, Luochi and Bailey enter like celebrities with VIP tickets, securing front row seats, happy without knowing the chaos behind the scenes. Sani and Shang are being scolded by Mr. Mo's assistant after the famous writer discovers that Shan didn't write the interview script. Unable to respond, Shan Yang causes Mr. Mo to refuse participation, leaving Gebi devastated, as it's her first major event. Shang suggests asking Luochi for help, since she's a fan of Mr. Mo and could impress him with her knowledge. Gebi loves the idea, but Shan Yang protests, only to be silenced by Zhang, who blames her for the mess. Meanwhile, Mohan starts performing and wins over the audience. Bailey admires his talent and beauty, joking that if she were a boy, she'd also choose Mohan. Luochi laughs and tells her she's the sweetest and kindest, and that Gebi will regret letting her go. At that moment, Gebi, as if her life depends on it, begs Luochi to help with the interview. Luochi agrees, and as she prepares, Shan shows up with an unexpected offer to do her makeup. She claims it's for the university's prestige, but everyone suspects ulterior motives. When Luochi returns, she leaves everyone speechless with how beautiful she looks. In a dramatic twist, Sanyan presents matching outfits for Luochi and Shang that were originally meant for her. The two step onto the stage as a striking pair. During the interview, Luochi shines like a star on a clear night, answering all of Mr. Mo's questions effortlessly. Shang can't take his eyes off her, realizing how incredible she is. Bailey, proud, tells everyone that Luochi is her best friend. The show ends with a standing ovation, and Luochi's friends shower her with compliments. Meanwhile, Sanyan reflects on her failure, feeling out of place despite her efforts. Jay finds her and encourages her to present her script to a small audience, and surprisingly, she receives applause that lifts her spirits. In another corner, Shang, Ming, and Gebi comment on how amazing Luochi was. Shang admits that she hasn't even forgiven him, yet she still helped. Bailey jokes with Luochi that now the entire university is shipping her with Shang. Luoqi pretends to be indifferent but secretly asks Bailey to send her the photos. Later, Shang and Ming invite Luoqi to the cafeteria, but she declines, focused on her exams. After the exam, Luoqi goes home to visit her mother, who missed her dearly as if in a Sunday drama. In the taxi, she thinks about Shang, unsure if she should forgive him. Back at the university, Gebi organizes a party to celebrate the success of the show. Shang, dressed up, secretly hopes Luoqi will appear, but Gebi tells him that she declined the invitation. At the party, Gebi introduces Mohan as her boyfriend, but the atmosphere turns tense when Yang invites Bailey, knowing it will cause drama. Bailey is shocked to see Mohan, and the mood becomes uncomfortable. Noticing this, Shang invites her to sit with him. Bailey doesn't hold back and scolds him for his behavior toward Luoqi, reminding him of how much he hurt her. Shang is left speechless, and Bailey storms off, only to be intercepted by Mohan, who tells her to stay away from Gebi. Bailey responds firmly, saying Gebi is not property. Meanwhile, shaken by Bailey's words, Shang decides he cannot let Luoqi go. Without knowing her exact location, he rushes to Harvin to search for her. The next day, Luoqi visits her father's grave with her mother and is moved by the thought that he would be proud of her. Meanwhile, Shang arrives in Harvin and searches everywhere, but finds no sign of Luoqi. Frustrated yet determined, he goes to her former high school, hoping for a clue, and unexpectedly runs into Sanyan. The encounter leaves both of them in shock, hinting that their stories still have chapters to be written. When Shang arrives at the school, he is surprised to see Shan, who seems genuinely happy to see him. But when he mentions that he is there for Luoqi, Chanyang's expression changes like summer weather. Sani warns Shang that the resentment between their families is older than the school uniforms, and her mother will never accept Luoqi. But he shakes off the concern like dust, making it clear that he will handle this mess himself. Meanwhile, Luoqi walks through her old school, reliving memories and feelings for Shang. She runs into Ding Shui, who is dealing with her own love drama involving Luo Yang, Sheng's cousin. During their conversation, Ding Shui asks if she would ever stop fighting for Sheng. Luoqi stays silent, unsure of what she truly feels. Later, Luoqi meets Sheng near her house. He tells her that he has been trying to contact her, worried about her silence. Though moved, Luoqi doubts his intentions, especially upon learning that he had met with Shan. Dinner between them becomes awkward when Sheng refuses to say what they talked about, and Luo gets upset and leaves. That night, she discovers that Sheng is standing outside, freezing like an uncovered ice cream, waiting for her forgiveness. Although part of her is moved, she sends him a message telling him to leave, but he stays. Finally, Luo leaves a bowl of soup on the window, a small gesture showing that she still cares, even though her heart is still in I don't know what to do mode. The next day, they return to the university together. Although Luo maintains her cold demeanor, Sheng does not lose hope. He offers her favorite snacks and shares music to break the ice. Meanwhile, Ding Shui and Luo Yang have a final bittersweet meeting. They recognize each other as true love, but accept that family obligations separate them. Ding Shui gives Luo Yang a locket as a farewell, and although it hurts, they know they must move on. Back at the university, another love story develops between Ming and Wen, but misunderstandings leave their feelings unresolved. In an attempt to fix things, Sheng invites Luoqi to the rooftop and confesses that he always confused her with Shanyan at school. Luoqi admits that she was the girl he talked to, but asks if that would have changed anything. Just as Sheng tries to open his heart, a call from Chanyan interrupts everything. Luo becomes furious, convinced that he isn't serious, and leaves, breaking his heart into pieces. Meanwhile, Ming experiences his own disappointment when Riching dismisses his gifts, revealing that she never valued his thoughtfulness. Both Shang and Ming are left grappling with the pain of unrequited love, realizing that sometimes even the deepest feelings aren't enough. When Shang tries to return Luo's luggage, she refuses to see him, making it clear she wants no further connection. He gives it to Bailey, albeit cautiously, remembering their last encounter. Later, Shang witnesses Ming's heartbreak over Riching, reinforcing his understanding that love is more complicated than a physics exam. Amid all this, the university is shaken by a scandal. Zhang cheated. Despite everything, Sheng and Luoqi find common ground in feeling compassion for him. Although she initially keeps her distance, Luoqi agrees with Sheng that Zhang deserves help, but the moment he tries to deepen the conversation, she pulls away, as if offered extra homework. Their dynamic is charged with unspoken emotions, as if speaking would burst a bubble neither wants to touch. As the days pass, Shang takes his kindness to the next level and offers Zhang a place to stay after being kicked out of the dorm. But his good deed is tested when Zhang starts using his roommate's belongings without permission, causing both funny and frustrating moments. Amid the chaos, Zhang reveals a hidden talent: professional-level spa massages. Everyone is impressed, even Shang, who no longer knows whether to thank him or charge rent. Meanwhile, Luoqi remains emotionally guarded, increasing the distance between her and Shang. Although they share ideas about helping others, she avoids any personal connection, leaving Shang in emotional limbo. With the investor meeting approaching, Shang becomes the center of attention. His fame as a promising young entrepreneur draws powerful figures like Mr. Gu. In contrast, Zhang struggles to get out of the blacklist, trying to network but receiving more rejections than friend requests. Luoqi watches Shang's success from afar, but stays on the sidelines. Her resistance to getting closer reveals an internal conflict that prevents her from reciprocating his growing feelings. Although the meeting opens doors for the future, the tension between Shang and Luoqi remains unresolved, showing that there are emotional wounds yet to heal. Shang continues grappling with his feelings for Luoqi while trying to seize professional opportunities. Despite investor interest, his mind is focused on finding Luoqi and ensuring she is okay. Meanwhile, Luoqi crosses paths with Mr. Gu, who is impressed by her intelligence and confidence. He offers her a well-paying job, but she declines, saying she is only at the event for fun. Shang, in protective mode, hides Mr. Gu's business card, suspecting something is off. Although tension lingers between them, Luoqi reminds him that she isn't interested in the job anyway. While Bailey deals with her broken heart, Luoqi supports her as a good friend. Shang's concern for Luoqi becomes evident, and in an intense moment, he confesses his love and proposes marriage, leaving Luoqi in shock. Bailey, meanwhile, sinks into memories of her story with Jebi, feeling the weight of unrequited love. At the event, Jebi loses control with the alcohol and ends up in an emotional outburst when Bailey publicly distances herself from him. Frustrated and on the edge, Bailey drinks the wine herself and leaves crying, accompanied by Luoqi. Outside, Bailey firmly declares that she must let go of Jebi to protect herself from drama and pain. Shang observes the scene as a silent witness, catching the hidden message: never hurt Luoqi. Meanwhile, Mohan, humiliated by Jebi's drunken state, breaks up with him without hesitation, leaving him devastated and lonelier than unfinished homework. On New Year's Eve, Jebi thinks about contacting Bailey, realizing she's always been there. But before he can act, Mr. Gu enters Bailey's life as an unexpected twist. As the night progresses, Bailey has an unexpected encounter with Mr. Gu, who offers her comfort at her lowest point. Unlike Jebi, he recognizes her pain and encourages her to express her emotions without filters. Their interaction reveals a new dynamic, and when Mr. Gu takes her phone and warns Jebi to stay away, things get serious. Feeling empowered, Bailey shouts her frustrations out the car window, declaring that she wants to move forward. Mr. Gu's presence adds a layer of intrigue, leaving Jebi uneasy about who he is and what role he will play in Bailey's life. Meanwhile, the unresolved tension between Shang and Luoqi continues to hover like a storm cloud. Bailey celebrates the new year with Mr. Gu, and although Luoqi is surprised, she is happy for her friend. On the other hand, Shang and Luoqi share a romantic moment on the rooftop as the new year begins, strengthening their bond with promises for the future. But the next day, Luoqi's happiness shatters when she sees Shang with his ex Sanyan, just as it seems they might kiss. She leaves without hearing any explanation, convinced that he always ends up hurting her. Realizing that Shan manipulated the situation, Shang ends things with her permanently, but the damage is already done. Luoqi is heartbroken and refuses to hear his apologies. At the same time, Jebi tries to fix things with Mohan, but his connection with Bailey sparks jealousy. When Mohan discovers the messages Jebi sent to Bailey, he explodes into a high-voltage argument. Meanwhile, Bailey enjoys a date with Mr. Gu, although she still subconsciously compares him to Jebi, struggling to let go of the past. Mr. Gu calmly advises her to stop looking back if she truly wants to heal. Luoqi, trying to distract herself from her broken heart, spends time with Ming, laughing and sharing light moments that make her smile again. Seeing Luoqi and Ming grow closer, Riching feels jealous and reflects on how he has taken Ming for granted. Shang, desperate to win back Luoqi, waits outside her dorm, but she refuses to see him. Ming becomes like an emotional shield. Luoqi starts playing with the dynamic, provoking jealousy in Shang, making him feel the same pain she experienced seeing him with Sanyan. Tensions rise like foam, and Shang, unfiltered, throws an object at Ming in a tantrum, igniting their rivalry like a Sunday barbecue. Luoqi, still hurt, completely ignores Shang's regret, and her growing closeness to Ming only fuels Shang's jealousy. Meanwhile, Bailey delivers a key file to Zhang, revealing that Shang and Luoqi secretly helped him get off the blacklist and close the deal for his project. Zhang and his friends celebrate as if they had won the lottery, marking a new beginning. On the other hand, Gebi, still obsessed with Bailey, confronts her about her mysterious New Year's companion. Nervous, Bailey makes up an excuse and leaves without revealing it was Mr. Gu. In the cafeteria, Shang marks his territory like a jealous cat, taking food away from Luoqi just as he was about to give it to Ming. Ming just laughs, understanding that Shang's possessiveness has reached an almost childish level. Later, Shang joins Luoqi's tutoring session casually, winning over the kids and frustrating her. Gradually, Luoqi begins to believe that what Shang did was a trap, and her anger starts to deflate. Meanwhile, Gebi tries to win Mohan back, agreeing to his demands just to be forgiven. But his irritation at Mohan's friend's interference shows that his patience is running thin. At the same time, Gebi keeps pulling Bailey back into his life, asking for her help with studies. Despite Luoqi's warnings, Bailey helps him, even hiding under the table when Mohan calls to check on him. Their dynamic is a tangle. Bailey wants to move on, but her attachment to Gebi won't let her completely let go. Meanwhile, Sanyan learns that Chuo risked his life to impress her and begins to reconsider her devotion. On the other hand, Shang discovers Luoqi's hidden feelings through her writings and starts connecting the pieces of her diary and past manipulations, realizing how much she truly cared for him. The drama intensifies when Luoqi finds Shang's old locket, a painful reminder of his history with Shan, and throws it in anger. When Shang arrives, she gives him an unexpected kiss, only to tell him that the kiss marks the end of her feelings. Shang is left paralyzed, heart in pieces, and hasn't even finished processing what happened when a photo of the kiss goes viral like hot gossip. When, furious and desperate for Shang's love, confronts him with the stolen diary, revealing her own unrequited feelings. But Shang, determined to uncover the truth, snatches the diary, leaving one devastated. Amid all the chaos, it becomes clear that a love built on lies and manipulation cannot thrive. Shang, confused by the kiss and Luoqi's rejection, reflects on how complicated everything has become. Ming, dealing with his own sorrow, suggests that maybe Luo loved the old Shang, not who he has become now. Taking Ming's words seriously, Shang decides to refocus on his studies, though it's clear he hasn't let go of Luo, not even in thought. Meanwhile, Luo tells Bailey everything, who is shocked by the kiss, as if someone revealed the ending of her favorite series. Bailey, caught between the confusion caused by Mr. Gu and Gebi, tries to process her emotions, but Luoji intervenes and turns off her phone, telling her to focus on herself. At the same time, Gebi begins to suspect that the mysterious man Bailey spent New Year's with is Mr. Gu, and the idea makes him more uncomfortable than a surprise test. The tension between Luo and Shang continues to grow through small moments that bring them closer. When Luoqi learns that Shang secretly took care of her through Ming, guilt begins to stir. Had she misjudged him all this time? Meanwhile, Riching prepares to go abroad and confesses to Luoqi that he never truly valued Ming, admitting that perhaps he deserved the breakup. When Luoqi delivers Riching's belongings to Ming, she runs into Shang, who catches her trying to avoid him and teases her playfully. His persistent, playful attitude shows that despite everything, he still has strong feelings for her. With exams approaching, jealousy spikes when Shang sees Luoji with Mr. Gu offering her his coat, but she rejects it, leaving the tension hanging like a storm cloud. Mr. Gu, sensing the rivalry, casually comments, wishing that things between them resolve soon. With exams finished, relationships reach a critical point. Gebby's feelings for Bailey intensify as he sees her being comforted by Mr. Gu. After an emotional crisis, when Gebby sings the song he used to dedicate to Bailey, but now offers it to Mohan, Bailey breaks inside and runs away in tears, with Mr. Gu following her. Meanwhile, Shang makes a public confession at a party, declaring his love for Luo and asking for a chance to prove that he has changed. Luo, processing all her feelings, begins to get closer to Shang, sharing intimate moments that reaffirm their connection. Their walk along the beach becomes a new beginning, full of joy and romance. But while Luo finds happiness, Gebby sinks into regret, realizing too late that he pushed away the only person who truly loved him. His obsession with Bailey and her bond with Mr. Gu grows, signaling more conflicts ahead. Shang and Luo are finally a couple, sharing fun moments and deepening their relationship. Meanwhile, Bailey continues struggling with her feelings for Gebby, falling into sadness that she tries to mask with boring tasks. Luo notices her state and tries to cheer her up. When she tells Bailey that she and Shang are officially dating, Bailey momentarily forgets her pain and sincerely rejoices for her friend. However, her sadness persists, and she decides to go home for a few days to clear her mind. At the same time, Shang receives a call from his mother. His grandfather is worsening, and the family business is in crisis. Before leaving, he shares with his friends that he is now officially with Luoqi. Ming jokingly declares himself Shang's brother-in-law, and everyone laughs, enjoying the moment before parting for vacation. Meanwhile, Luo and Shang take advantage of the break to spend time together, sharing romantic gestures and strengthening their relationship. Shang reassures her, knowing it's her first time dating someone, making her feel safe and loved. But Bailey's life becomes complicated when Gebby and Mr. Gu appear at the same time, sparking a dispute over who will carry her luggage. Amid the chaos, Bailey gets hurt, adding physical pain to her emotional storm. On the other hand, Shang returns home ready to introduce Luoqi, but his mother stops him cold, saying that she will never be her daughter-in-law. Shang stands firm and declares that he is going to marry Luoqi, whether she likes it or not. Meanwhile, Luoqi's mother is the complete opposite, supporting her with affection. Shang gets caught up in family conflicts over the company inheritance, and the tension at home leaves him anxious about the future. Back at the university, Bailey feels overwhelmed by Jeffy's constant messages and calls. Her desperation reaches its limit when he shows up in person and directly asks if she would accept him if he peacefully ends things with Mohan. Bailey is speechless, unable to process the unexpected turn. Luoqi, standing beside her, is also shocked by what she just heard. Meanwhile, Sanyan receives devastating news. Zuo, the boy who risked everything for her, fell from a mountain and is in a coma. Despite her mistakes, she realizes how much he means to her and begins praying for his recovery. Amid the wedding preparations between Luo Yang and Jing, Luo finds emotional closure with Ding Shui, and an unexpected friendship is born. But as past connections resurface and emotions remain unresolved, the new year brings both new beginnings and unfinished business, leaving everyone's future uncertain. Luo receives exciting news from her professor. She has been selected for an international seminar. She tells Shang, who has just returned to the university, exhausted from caring for his grandfather and dealing with business dramas. Despite his fatigue, Shang promises her a date before she leaves for England, which makes her even happier. The date takes place at an amusement park, where they run into Bailey and Gebby. A light-hearted competition arises between Shang and Gebby, each trying to make their partner happier, but Luoji and Shang decide to focus on their own moment. Meanwhile, Bailey reminds Gebby that she hasn't accepted anything yet. As the day progresses, Shang receives a revelation like a lightning strike on a clear sky. Luo was the girl who saved him outside the church when they were little. Astonished, he asks why she never told him, and she responds that she was waiting for the right moment. Moved, Shang repeats his childhood promise, "You're only mine?" Before proposing marriage, Luoqi happily accepts, just as fireworks light up the night. Their love seems stronger than ever, while Gebby realizes too late that Bailey truly left him behind. The next day, Luo departs for England, promising to return soon, but her tone hints at an unexpected separation. Years will pass before she sees Shang again. They stay in touch through messages, But when Loi returns to the university, she finds Ming instead of Shang. Suspicious, she discovers that Ming had been pretending to be Shang in the texts. He reveals the truth. Shang's life has fallen apart. His grandfather passed away, his father's company went bankrupt, his father is in prison, and his mother is in the hospital. Shang, not wanting to worry her, asked Ming to handle things calmly. Hearing this, Luoqi collapses emotionally but refuses to give up. Meanwhile, Shang struggles to keep his family afloat, dealing with workers demanding their pay and relatives unwilling to help. His mother admits that everything they are experiencing is karma for what they did to Luoqi's family. Shang promises to fix everything on his own. Meanwhile, Bailey unknowingly falls into a trap set by Mohan, who conspires with Mr. Gu to ruin her reputation. Just as Bailey is about to enter Gu's hotel room, Luoi arrives in time to expose the plan. It turns out that Mr. Gu is Mohan's cousin, and the whole thing was a dirty trick. Gebi confronts Mohan in anger, and she explodes, shouting that she did it because she hated how Bailey always interfered in her relationship with Gebi. Gu intervenes, takes Mohan away, and scolds her for her actions, declaring that the day she attacked Bailey, she lost everything. With the manipulation exposed, Gebi is left in shock, realizing how much he hurt Bailey. But it's too late. Bailey, with a broken heart, vows never to let anyone hurt her again. Shang, unable to balance family and studies, decides to leave the university, leaving everyone in shock. Despite attempts to stop him, Shang remains firm, convinced that he must prioritize his family. Luoqi and the others see him off without a formal farewell, closing this chapter with a bittersweet taste. Years pass, and Luoqi graduates as a lawyer with honors, while Bailey becomes a famous writer, signing books like concert autographs. Shang, for his part, rebuilds his life from scratch, starting a business with Ming's help, who is now something like his partner, therapist, and emotional GPS. Years later, Shang achieves great success, winning an investor competition that changes his life and gives him the push he needed to shine. At the same time, Cho wakes from his extended nap, also known as a siesta, and Chan breathes a sigh of relief as if a piano had been lifted off her shoulders. Gebi, for her part, continues to appear in Bailey's thoughts, although she is no longer the same girl who waited for messages that never came. Now she has self-esteem, a full schedule, and zero tolerance for confused exes. Finally, fate does its work and brings Loi and Shang together. Her heart pounding like a carnival drum, she wonders if he has already forgotten her, but at that moment he appears by her side and signs his name on the guest list as if it were a scene from a romantic movie with a generous budget. Overwhelmed with emotion, Luoqi realizes that their love, which had been separated by time, family dramas, and a trip to England, has finally come full circle. There are no more obstacles or misunderstandings, and they are truly together at last. The story ends with a dose of joy that leaves everyone wanting to hug a pillow and sigh. Amidst silences and stolen glances, their love grew in the shadow of the impossible. They walked together, though their hearts beat in different worlds. In the end, he understood what she had always felt, and in that late moment, their story was etched into memory like an eternal sigh. Drama lovers. We are growing faster than a protagonist with amnesia recovering their memory, and it's all thanks to you. But come on, don't be shy. Leave your name and the country you're watching from in the comments. Here are some little videos I know you'll love. Thanks for watching. Korean Recap, bye. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Check out more recaps you'll absolutely love right here.